All right, everybody, we're here live with a special report. It's time to go live and be live and do live. Welcome. I mean, there's been so much going on. I don't know. It felt like I wanted to go live a number of times this week, and I didn't really have the chance until now. So I'm excited to get to everything we missed. Ryder Cup action. The Americans are a disgrace. I don't know if people are watching this. Maybe I should get a different angle at backlight. I don't know. Is that good? What's that? Is that better? Do you guys like the cherries or the Free Palestine sign? What do you like more? Maybe this is more cinematic or something. I don't know. We got the Jesus rays coming through here. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice kind of epic. It's kind of an epic production value. You're not going to see that. Oh, yes. Theo Vaughn. I saw Theo Vaughn was at Beacon Theater last night. Sold out. I think he sold out 2 nights. Theo Vaughn live at the Beacon. So that's where we're at culturally. He did speak out against the ICE. They were using his fucking, I don't know, something he said or some kind of sound clip of him or something for some kind of deportation videos. He's a little too late for that, but these guys know not what they do. They're marks. They're just marks. They're easy marks. That's all. They're an easy touch, and so they got took. They all got took, and now they're sort of backpedaling. Didn't Rogan come out and say something about who cares? So yeah, we're going to talk about the whole Kamala book tour. We'll talk about the Kamala book tour, Gaza, of course, the genocide, but also the complexity of whatever the fuck. Oh, the whole political. I don't know. Did some insane thing happen? There's this meeting of these generals. They're calling a meeting of all the generals. That happened. The news cycle just moves so fast at this point that it's just like it's old news. A lot of this shit that just happened, it's old fucking news. The thing I want to talk about principally, first and foremost, I want to get to this. I don't know why I'm so chomping at the bit to talk about this, is One Battle After Another. Have people seen it? One Battle After Another, the new P.T. Anderson. It's getting rave reviews. It's getting like unbelievable reviews. And so that's why I have to correct. I liked it a lot. I thought it was an excellent movie, but people are saying it's his best movie or it's the movie of the year. Maybe that's true. It reminds me of I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you may have seen my TikTok review, I got 1 like from Ashley. But maybe that's just TikTok, or but it's even the fucking critics. I mean, Spielberg loved it. Spielberg came out immediately. It was like, wow. I just didn't really get why. I mean, we didn't see it on IMAX or anything. I didn't see 70 fucking millimeter roadshow of One Battle After Another, but I'm a little stumped as to why people are so enthusiastic. I thought it was a good movie. To me, to be honest, it was kind of the most normal Paul Thomas Anderson movie I think that I've seen. Every one of his movies has a very distinct kind of thumbprint. This movie felt like it could have been made by Catherine Bigelow or something, or any number of people. It felt like Tony Scott could have made this movie. It felt like this movie wishes it was like Children of Men. Like Children of Men, that was an incredible fucking movie. It showed you things you'd never seen before, and it was very politically astute about what we're heading towards. And it made big choices about what society was going to become. This movie, honestly, I think one of the reasons why it's just like having this kind of like wildfire moment is because it really is like it's coming right out of the headlines, particularly with all of the alligator Auschwitz. The whole first half of the movie is like these activists fighting against these immigration detention centers and ICE, right? Like the Sean Penn character is like Mr. ICE, Strong Jaw, or whatever the fuck it is, Lockjaw. Thomas Pynchon always has these kind of like skinhead, meathead cop, kind of like brutal police state bully type pig. Josh Brolin in Inherent Vice. Crying of Lot 49 had a lot of authority figures like Niedermeyer in Animal House. That guy, Mark Metcalf. These kind of like skinhead. So Sean Penn, I thought Sean Penn was excellent. He's a good actor. There's a reason why Sean Penn is famous. It's not for his fucking political views, which everybody fucking hates. It's because he's a fucking good actor. I mean, watch Milk. Watch fucking. Is that my daughter in there? Watch Spicoli. I mean, Sean Penn is a good actor. Like, I didn't think it was like somebody said it was Heath Ledger good. I did not think it was Heath Ledger Joker good. It was not that level. It was definitely a really excellent performance. It's P.T. Anderson. It's like one of the hallmarks, one of P.T. Anderson's strengths, I think, is getting great performances out of great actors. He works with Philip Seymour Hoffman. He works with Daniel Day-Lewis. It's like John C. Reilly. A lot of their most memorable roles were P.T. Anderson movies. Jason Robards. Who's that guy? Philip Baker Hall. Julianne Moore. He's a great actor, kind of director. He really and so it's the fact that he would work with Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro and Leonardo DiCaprio is not really that big of a surprise. Like, of course, he's going to get the best of the best people. He always has. And so I think it sort of reminds me of Sorry to Bother You in a way, which was another like left. I would say this is like a leftist, or at least like it was woke. Somebody said it was 2016 Colbert lib coded. It felt like kind of an old Gen X guy trying to be like woke, and his idea there are like black female characters, but they're kind of like the background singers to these like kind of strong white guy, DiCaprio, Sean Penn. I mean, Benicio del Toro's not white, but like he's an alpha kind of European type. That's what he played in Phoenician Scheme, was this kind of like entrepreneurial kind of magnate. So he's definitely like a patriarch. And I love Benicio del Toro. I mean, he's magnificent. It's cool to see him. Like I said, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought it was an excellent movie. It was definitely a very good movie. But like the more I think about it, there's a lot of plot holes in it. There's a scene where they're about to get pulled over for drunk driving, and Leonardo DiCaprio literally jumps out the window of their fucking car, and the police are following them, and they don't see it. It's like that's stretching the limits of plausibility. Like, they would definitely see if an entire fucking human being left the vehicle. They're police officers. Like, there's a few things like that are like, it did remind me of Melvin and Howard. Actually, I do want to get back to Melvin and Howard, of course. Now this is a Melvin and Howard centered live stream. It had a lot of Melvin and Howard in it. The way the one character just kind of disappears, doesn't come back. It's like a desert movie. The chase kind of through the desert had kind of Melvin and Howard. And I did like the Christmas Adventurers thing. I thought that was kind of a funny way of portraying like white male supremacy, golf country club, the master Illuminati type culture. Jim Downey, I love to see Jim Downey back in the P.T. Anderson. I think that's a hilarious thing that P.T. Anderson like cast fucking Jim Downey. I recognized him the first time I saw fucking There Will Be Blood. I'm like, that's fucking Jim Downey from the Change Bank or whatever. I thought this was kind of a funny, because Jim Downey went to fucking Harvard, and I do think SNL is kind of like this boys club establishment Illuminati mouthpiece. And Jim Downey was the head writer forever. And so he's part of but he's funny, and he's to me, this character threw back to, if you ever seen Eddie Murphy, White Like Me, where Eddie Murphy paints himself white and like goes around Jim Downey plays the guy who gives him the free newspaper. When Eddie Murphy, he takes the newspaper to pay for it right at the newsstand, and Jim Downey is the cashier, and he looks at him just like, what are you doing? Just take it. Just take it. It's one of the all-time great line readings. Just take it. It's so memorable. And there is something very sinister about Jim Downey. He's got a kind of skull and bones quality. He does kind of look like one of the founding fathers or some kind of like blood magnate, land, manifest destiny, ordered the slaughter of a bunch of people or something through some kind of paperwork. He's in the SNL Charles Schwab parodies. This is deep cut. I mean, this is for my SNL fanatic losers out there. Jim Downey, he's in some Lonely Island shit. I think he makes out with Andy Samberg or something. So he's a comedy legend. But I don't know. I've always had this weird, because of that Black Like Me skit. Just, what are you doing? Just take it. The joke being white people just give each other shit for free. I've discovered when white people are alone, they give each other things. That's Jim Downey, the Christmas adventurer. So it makes perfect sense. He's like one of the mastermind kind of like, but it's also like, it's a very cartoonish Wizard of Oz idea of like the powers that be in our society. Like, that's one thing I will say about this movie. Like, there's really no, it wasn't like Southland Tales, or it wasn't like a satire. It wasn't really showing you like MAGA. It was actually pretty nondescript, I would say, other than the fact that the Sean Penn character and the interrogator guy, to me, it felt like Iraq. As I'm watching this movie, I'm like, this feels like Abu Ghraib, and like, because he said he started writing it 20 years ago. And I'm like, that kind of makes perfect sense. Like, it has all these Bush era kind of tropes. The interrogator character, they're all wearing like this camo and like this body fucking armor and shit. Like, that Sean Penn character, right, could have come out of he could have come out of Reagan era, right, which is when that, it could be Oliver North, right, which is when that fucking book came out, Vineland, which it's based on, which I sort of read the beginning of. My mom got it for me for Christmas one year. Shout out to my mom. And I did start to read it. And it was just kind of too weird. All the names, Zoid, it feels like Futurama or some shit. It's almost like science fiction, but about like, I don't know. It was hard for me to kind of like relate to it or something as a 20-year-old. So I didn't really pursue it beyond like 30 or 40 pages. I was looking for some kind of end to Thomas Pynchon. Gravity's Rainbow is like 800 pages or something. It's like, I don't know if I really want to dive into that, because it's famously like very difficult to read. Not that I feel like nobody does that anymore. Like, Ashley was telling me about this Jean Rice book, which a lot of people are into. And she was just saying the style is just like not complicated. It's very simple, which is kind of how I felt like those Annie Ernaux books are. Not that that's a bad thing. I think people want readability. They want like airport reads. They want something that they can just like binge watch, like fucking Now Scarred, or, there isn't like a whole lot of convoluted sentence making, like with somebody like Thomas Pynchon, Mason and Dixon. It's like, Jesus Christ, these sentences, like, that's the point. As the sentences are super labyrinthian and kind of doubling back and have all this fucking commas and semicolons and whatever the hell. They're Byzantine, which is like, that's what, fiction is supposed to do. Proust, I guess, is probably like that, Hemingway, I would say, is probably not like that. But F. Scott Fitzgerald, I would say, is probably more like that. It just seems like even people who do read, they want simplicity, they want readability. And this movie, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't, it felt kind of like No Country for Old Men to me. That movie had a similar kind of like unanimous rave kind of response and became like this kind of cultural sensation to some degree. It's also based on like this heavy literature. Cormac McCarthy, Thomas Pynchon are like the elite group of white male cis hetero novelists of that generation, the 70s, 80s, whatever, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I think No Country for Old Men was similarly like a very suspenseful, like chase movie. This movie, like it definitely doled out like the suspense very well. Like I said, it was a good movie. It had that kind of weird, like retail, like the Benicio del Toro character I thought was great with his karate dojo. P.T. Anderson's always got that kind of weird side of things, the hustle and bustle, kind of cheap commercial America. What is it? Like it's almost like the furniture salesman in Punch Drunk Glove, or kind of remind me of Red Belt, the Mammoth. P.T. Anderson, I think, has got some strong Mammoth. He's cast Mammoth actors and stuff. I think he is a student of like theater and just like good writing of every genre, whether it's movies or, Thomas Pynchon is not like necessarily some. I mean, I guess he is like famous, but he's not like lowbrow. It's not like Dan Brown or something. Like it's like a hipster fucking. It's like Gen X, or David Foster Wallace. It's like David Foster Wallace of boomers. I feel like Gravity's Rainbow kind of has like a infinite jest, or like that was the most recent equivalent of that. Maybe not that they're totally the same. It does seem like Thomas Pynchon was like a hippie. Like I think this book Vineland, it's meant to be like an elegy for like the 60s and the kind of revolution that lost. And I will say that, like, I just feel like the characters in this story don't really exist. I mean, it portrays political violence as leftist, I would say, in a way that, like, what are these characters? Are they Antifa? Like, as far as I know, there weren't like protesters going around during fucking Bush that were like shooting fucking assault rifles and blowing shit up. Like, there weren't like, Black Panther equivalent Huey P. Newton, Assata Shakur, the militants of the 70s and shit. They'd rob banks or whatever. They'd kidnap Patty Hearst. Like, they'd blow shit up. I don't know that people are doing that today unless they're psycho, incel, Reddit, 4chan. They're shooting up churches and shit like that. They're not like, it's not like leftist violence. It's just like nihilistic white guys with who can easily obtain firearms and are just like suicidally dysfunctional and have been weaponized, frankly. I do think that everybody is sort of like a Manchurian candidate now with our phones. I do think they're just like programming us what to believe. And there is like an info war happening. I don't know that we like the comment section. I just think is not, I talk about the comment section a lot, but now I'm just realizing like it's bots. There are bot armies. There are like these farms of content where they have AI fucking accounts that are like spreading propaganda because we are influenced by word of mouth and other people's opinions. And firsthand, we'd rather hear a firsthand account of something. And so in the comment section, it feels like you're getting the real story. And there is sort of like, early on in the internet, they realized the importance of like moderators and shit like that, right? Like every forum has got a moderator. Even fucking like they'll boot you from a server or whatever if you're being obnoxious in like a fucking, Counter-Strike or whatever. Whereas like these comment sections, there's just no moderation. There's no, or, there's some, but it's not, they're not regulating these bot armies and shit like that. It's just like you don't know what's true, and they that is where the fucking destabilization is coming from. People are intimately training themselves based on whatever the fuck they're seeing in their feed, and everybody has got a political position. So it's like there's a lot of fucking just trying to divide people through the fucking comment section and spread. It's like the new AM radio. It's like the right wing, they really do have fucking talking points, and they nail that shit down. It's like that's what you see in the fucking comment section. Like Charlie Kirk, this guy had fucking talking points. And it's like when you're listening to Rush Limbaugh on the radio, you're like, wow, this guy fucking just killing it. He knows what he's talking about. It's all just fucking talking points. It's like it's not just because it sounds convincing doesn't mean it's fucking true. And on the internet, everybody is kind of gullible and just like, well, yeah, this Alex Jones guy, there might be aliens. The frogs might be gay. That could be true. Well, I don't know. He's funny, isn't he? Let's listen to more of this entertaining guy. But hey, there might be something to this. The movie doesn't really, it refers to like, Wi-Fi a bunch of times and like phones and shit a bunch of times. But I wouldn't say it's like heavily invested in like critiquing massively our system or something. It did feel like a rally cry. It did feel like here is a way to fight back. Here is like, I guarantee you people are going to see this movie and start to think I don't know that they're going to commit, they're not going to take up arms or anything, but I've already seen people dressing up as the Bob character in the bathrobe and shit with the sunglasses. So I think, in that sense, it is a way of like imaging or like posing, exemplifying kind of a new, or it's not new. I mean, that's what I was just watching this interview with P.T. Anderson. He's talking about, he started writing it 20 years ago. The book was written during the Reagan era. And so it's like these things, it doesn't change that much, even though we feel like this movie is like really coming out of like right now, it's actually kind of a same as it ever was type thing. It's been like this for a while. I haven't seen Inherent Vice, but like it does seem like a lot of the guy's work, Pinchon, is sort of about the 60s, how the 60s were defeated, that generation. And I think people they kind of underestimate the power of that is like, how much of Republican, like what caused Reagan, what caused this sort of conservative revolution that caused right-wing people to be like, you know what, we need to get involved in politics because now we don't want to pay 90% fucking taxes anymore. How can we strategize to basically dismantle the federal government is what they've been doing essentially since Reagan. It feels like, that is sort of what this Thomas Pynchon Vineland book is about, right? I saw that in one of the reviews, is like a lot of the reaction of the characters in Vineland is because Reagan is slashing social programs, right? Like the Zoid character lives on some kind of welfare thing, and Reagan slashes the budget for that. So it's like he literally is losing his livelihood. And that's why the characters are kind of like reacting in the ways that they are and acting out or whatever. And that's why the situation is being catalyzed. And that's what we're seeing with Trump, right? Is he's the big, beautiful bill. And that's why these sort of revolutionary factions occur, because so I think a lot of the sort of neocon policies were sort of a reaction against what happened in the 60s. I think they saw JFK, LBJ, welfare, great society, big government. And they said, hell the fuck no. We do not, we can't continue, right? This, it's like Smedley Butler or whatever, right? They wanted to get rid of FDR, but the motherfucker was just too strong, or, I don't know what the hell it was. FDR knew how to build his socialist empire, really, which lasted kind of until Reagan. And, this movie and that book is sort of a reaction against the reforming of the government and getting rid of like all of the social safety net, social spending programs, big government type Democrat spending, tax and spend. And so I think a lot of that they were catalyzed by student protests. I mean, that was one of the first things Ronald Reagan did, right? Was cut fucking free college in California. It used to be free to fucking go to State University in California, which was like a great fucking university system. UCLA, Berkeley, right? They're among like the top public schools in the fucking country. And Reagan, that's where the protests were fermented, right? All the fucking 60s, hippie, peace, love, drop out of society, kind of, that was all fucking campuses, right? That was people who wanted out of Vietnam, student deferment. I don't know, people smart enough to go to college back then when it was cheap. Why did more people start to go to college later? I don't know. Why weren't people just going to college in the 60s? But they wanted to get rid of all of that shit. So they started to charge exorbitantly. They cut the public funding for the schools so people would have to pay. And now look where we're at. We got student loan debt. And how much does it cost to go to fucking UCLA now? It's like only fucking rich people go to fucking USC, UCLA, which is how they want it. This is what the Reaganites want. They want to keep people out. They want the restricted country club. They want to be Christmas adventurers, right? They don't want to be unclean. These dirty to fucking the Christmas adventurers with his interracial love child. And, there's a lot of truth to that Sean Penn character. It was a remarkable character to just like express kind of the syndrome of like these white supremacist, militaristic, that mindset. It's like, on the one hand, he's like a fucking military, like ICE agent, basically deporting people. And on the other hand, he's like in love with this black woman. And it's like he has a child. And so it's like, but you'll see that contradiction in a lot of fucking people, but right-wing people especially, right? Like, it's like every time there's a fucking Republican National Convention, they crash Grindr. What the Republicans vilify in public, they wrestle with in private. I think there's some truth to that. I've seen that in my life. That is what I have observed with a lot of these people. The Christmas adventurers people, I recognize those people from like golf team, Grandview Heights, Marble Cliff. Like I did grow up around these like weird white WASP country club, CEO, fraternity. You know how much money it costs to like be a member of Scioto Country Club? It's like $50,000 a year. And they started it specifically to segregate. It's like that was one of the express purposes of it. The caddies are not white, but everybody who belongs. And so like I said, it was a good fucking movie. I enjoyed it a lot. But I don't know. There were things about it that I did find like it was a little bit old fashioned, let's say, in the way it portrayed like the black women characters. They were all fetishized. They weren't centered in the fucking story. They're all kind of peripheral. The one character disappears 20 minutes into the fucking movie. You never see her again. The other characters are pretty quiet. Jungle Pussy and Regina King or Hall or whatever. They're excellent. Don't get me wrong. The actors are fantastic. But like they're basically props in the fucking movie. To Leonardo DiCaprio, who's the ultimate age gap white patriarchal, kind of winner, to be honest. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that Leo is political and leftist and cares about the environment and shit. And I do think that if this movie is going to like set people on fire like at Mom Donnie or some shit, like, yeah, good. We need this right now. Is it Hollywood propaganda trying to dupe leftists into being violent? The characters in the movie are violent. I mean, they're like the Unabomber. They're terrorists. Does the movie use the word terrorism? I can't remember. I don't remember it really talking about terrorism that much. But if those characters were real now, they would be called Antifa terrorists. And to me, it's like, I don't know. I guess every other movie relies too much on like TV. Like, oh, let's just show the fucking news and tell the exposition that way. And satirize kind of our news frenzied fucking piranha of information culture. I heard this interesting thing the other day that the body treats information like food. Like as long as your body like thinks that it's learning and is taking in like information, it wants to continue to digest and I feel like that's where we're at with these apps, and like the political kind of like discourse is like fueling that, where it's like there's this endless kind of like nitpicking and debating and just every angle on every fucking issue, everything that happens, there's a million different points of view, and it's up to you to kind of like coalesce your own fucking point of view based on a consensus or a disagreement with everything that you see. But I think that like biologically, yes, they know that they are like drug dealers and they want us hooked, and this is how they give us dopamine hits of validation to like fucking give us spikes, that like, oh yeah, now I'm real fucking high. But like this information feed, we're like addicted because we think we're learning. And it's fun. I don't know. This better be info warriors and pundits than resorting to political violence or whatever, like the characters in this movie do. But I mean, does it do any good? I don't know. Like, it seems to me like even though my audience is 95% male, it doesn't seem to be working. Like, how do these guys go down these fucking pipelines like Nick Fuentes or whatever? Like, how, at what point does that become, or Aiden Ross or whatever the fuck? Like, at what point does that seem like the answer to you? Like, this is the fucking evidence of like, people can't read. They have no critical thinking skills. That's why this shit is so popular. That's why Joe Rogan is so popular. That's why Trump is so popular. He can't read. He literally couldn't fucking, he didn't know what acetaminophen was. He had to sound it out. Like a fucking kindergartner. Acetaminophen. Oh, yeah. Gee, we've seen that before. It's usually like a second grader trying to read in class. And so there's a lot of dumb people who believe a lot of dumb shit. And that's on both sides. It's usually fucking MAGA psychos, but some of those people, I don't know. They're lost. They're lost. I mean, I think the Democrats really suffer from like Trump came in and moved that party into something that felt authentic, is a content bonanza, and made it feel to people in the electorate like he is fighting the system. We hate the system. The system is even Kamala said the system is broken, right? That was her fucking justification. The system is broken. That's basically what Trump believes, is like the system is broken. Let's destroy it. Let's get this fucking guy in there to just fire everybody. He fucking destroys everything he touches. We love that about him. Get him in there to do a demo job. Get some jabs, demo jabs. And the Democrats, Bernie is the candidate on the side who like upended the corrupt. Both sides are evil. They're all it's a mono party. They're controlled opposition. Bernie came in. The Democrats don't want him, so he must be the guy because we don't trust them. They're legacy media. They are APAC controlled. They are taking corporate money. They're Obama drone struck people and the Clintons and blah blah blah. So we need Bernie. Bernie's the one who came in with sort of a viral message, like Mamdani, like AOC. And they shut his ass down because he's not a part of the club. He's not in the fucking DNC. And the DNC is all about, like, you got to wait your turn. It's Joe Biden's turn. It's Hillary's turn. It's Kamala's turn, apparently. And Bernie has never been a Democrat, or he's an independent for as long as I can remember. And he's trying to jump the line. Pelosi does not let you do that, okay? Chuck Schumer will not let you do that. They're spineless Democrats. They're libtards. And I think a lot of that, I think the Democrats are not bad at running the federal government when they're in control. To be honest, they do a pretty good job. But somehow they eat everything. They eat everything that's bad that happens. The Republicans get away with everything, but somehow it's Kamala Harris's fault that there's a fucking genocide. She's killing these children in people's heads, basically. That's what they think. Is like, she's not going to do shit. She's not going to, and it's like, if you really care about these people and you want to be honest about her policy was better than Trump's fucking policy. I mean, maybe it wasn't everything that people want, but like, if you cared about these people and not just like whatever your political stance is and like your own morality or whatever, like, you would do what is best for them. And it benefits the Republicans to characterize it like everybody's bad, make the Democrats own everything. That's why they fucking started these wars when Biden was president, because it just creates this big fucking crisis on his hands. It's his fault, and the Democrat, this country does have this weird relationship with Israel, and Israel does have too much influence on our government. That is definitely true. But I also think it has become like this anti-Semitic meme to just be like APAC, APAC, APAC. Like Israel is responsible for everything wrong in our fucking country. Like the Christian conservatives are not a huge fucking part of that. And they work in cahoots, to be honest. It's not, it's a spectrum of fucking people. And so it's not as simple as and we have to be pragmatic about the fucking choices we're given. It's like, yeah, is this the perfect fucking everything we want? Is this a perfect? No, but like, look at where our lives are now, a year into this. Who's going to argue that we're better off? Like, everything sucks worse, and we're headed, like, look at these fucking policies. Fucking they're rolling out this fucking surveillance AI shit like way faster. Trump is in cahoots with all these tech people to basically just take over everything. It's like, at least with the Democrats, there was a little bit of pushback. Elizabeth Warren, people like this, they try to break up the monopolies. They try to limit the fucking power of these giant fucking tech behemoths. And this is why we're fucked, because these billionaires have this is why it's important to tax the fucking billionaires. Like, the messaging is not bad. I'd vote for fucking Bernie. I love Bernie. But like, anybody who pays attention to politics in our fucking country knows that, like, it's never going to, like, get real. Like, this is not, things can work. Things like Mamdani and AOC can work in certain places, like New York. That's why they get elected here. But like, the country has got a lot of fucking different kinds of people in it. And a lot of people have been brainwashed to believe totally crazy shit. And they don't even see it. They don't even see how far this country has been dragged to the right. We're like, you know, they make the Democrats own everything like it is totally their policy. And it's like, you don't understand. There are people like Mitch McConnell who basically stonewalled every fucking thing the Democrats try to do. They loaded the Supreme Court up now, so the Supreme Court just like is hopeless. Every single fucking decision is going to be further and further to the right. This is real bad for us. You know, it sucks that, like, you know, there's a genocide happening in the Sudan right now. I don't hear a bunch of people talking about that. I don't hear a bunch of people talking about free fucking Sudan. It's horrible. It's horrible what's happening. If you want to limit it, you're fucking a critical thinker. Okay, it sucks that this fucking thing is happening over there. It sucks that there's a fucking war in Ukraine. People act like Biden started it. It's like, a vote for Trump is going to destroy our lives in this country. Do you not see that? It already has in a lot of ways. I mean, nobody can find a fucking job, the price of everything. And that, honestly, that was the big issue that decided the election. There's a lot of prioritizing of like the Palestine issue, particularly on like the left. But most people voted for Trump because of the price of eggs. They thought it's the economy, stupid. It's always the fucking economy. We saw it all over the world. People voted for the opposition party because they don't like inflation. That's what happened with Jimmy Carter. Kitchen table issues. And now we have fascism. Like actual fascism. Have you seen the way people are behaving at the Ryder Cup? Have you seen these fucking annals? Has the Ryder Cup always been this way? Where people dress up like fucking lunatics? It's not banana ball. Okay? It's not the fucking savannah. It's golf, god damn it. It's supposed to be boring and quiet. That's what's nice about it. It's dignified. It's peaceful. It's tranquil. The Ryder Cup is like this, you know, it's one of the most prestigious events in sports. At least it has been. It only happens every 2 years. So it's like, it is kind of this, like, it's nationalistic. It's us versus them, but it's friendly. It's a friendly. But I mean, for a lot of my lifetime, the Ryder Cup has been this, like, you know, prestigious, like, honorable thing to be the captain, to fucking like and subscribe if you've liked anything I've said so far or not. I don't know. I mean, free Palestine, okay? But there's also, I don't know, there needs to be peace. Just get Netanyahu the fuck out of there. Even the people in Israel don't want him. You know, a lot of the people in Israel, like, understand the way that they treat Gaza is, like, horrific. They get that. It's the psycho military masters of war ultra right people that want to foster this division, it works to their advantage, because the more there's like an anti-Semitic, like leftist, Hamas sympathetic enemy. Like, look at what happened on these fucking campuses, man. It's insane. Right here at Columbia University, they just bulldozed all those fucking kids. They militarized against them. It's crazy. It's good that people are speaking out against it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, the discourse is good, but I just don't think that a lot of the people who are espousing this opinion really, like, they're kind of new, they're idealistic, they're just kind of like, and like, that's good. That's what young people do. They want to save little babies and shit. That's good. But it's like there's a lot more going on in our fucking in the consequences of what that election was, and characterizing, Biden and Kamala like they are the fucking perpetrators, and they are the fucking, I mean, they called for ceasefire. Even Bernie didn't say the word genocide until like a few months ago, right? And that's fucking Bernie Sanders, everybody's like patron saint of fucking like moral purity, who's always been right. But Bernie Sanders is very important. We're very lucky to have Bernie Sanders. Like, he is right, usually. He's almost always fucking right. Like, he's very important. So's AOC. So's fucking Mamdani. Like, I'm down. I'm down. I mean, that is the left that is like sexy to people. That's what young people want. The right, through Trump and through his kind of like Vince McMahon politics, is like made it somehow fucking sexy to be like right wing. They get Dasha and Anna to wear some MAGA hats. Let's make these bitches rich. We'll bankroll whatever they want. Dumbass young people will listen to anything they say. People on Twitter, people who want to be edgy. They think that's punk rock, to be like just like morally repugnant and bad people. It's become like cool to be like a bad person, because like you're not woke, you're not like purity testing, you're not, the left does not have an equivalent, right? The equivalent is Bernie, AOC, Mamdani. That's who all the hot people that I see like. All of the hot, fucking Instagram chicks or whatever, Twitter leftists, they're volunteering for Mamdani. They're like going door to door for Mamdani. And I'm like, yeah, great, fine. If we can get Mamdani in New York, that would be a fucking victory for this whole fucking country. And I do think people have been brainwashed to like be like allergic to what he's proposing. It's like, this is not going to work. This socialism never works. It's like, yeah, they've let's try it. If New York can do it, it has done it. Mamdani's not unprecedented. He's probably more like Fiorello LaGuardia or something. Like, he's a very kind of traditional, big government New York mayor. New York is a socialist fucking place. That's one thing that I have noticed being from Ohio. In New York, I could get health care. I could go to a doctor for free. I could get tested for X, Y, or Z for free. You can get, I've never been able to get food stamps, but like I can't do that shit in Ohio, red state, Governor Mike DeWine land. Like, that is one of the things that is different about fucking New York City. Like, that's a good thing. Mamdani is like a part of that. I do think that he is like a product of the elite. And so his message like appeals to like winners, smart, hot, like well-educated people. Like, and a lot of them are privileged as fuck. It's the same people who are like kind of like nauseatingly woke and like constantly purity testing, and like, it's good that we have that. It's good that there really is like an outspoken left in this fucking country. But it's also like annoying to me as a loser from the Midwest, product of state schools. I've been around dumb right-wing people, most of my life. They're great people. In person, I don't know. They're very personable in a lot of ways. Like Trump is. I saw some video of Trump at a grocery store. And he's getting Utz popcorn down from the fucking... It's like a grocery... Because he went to the goddamn Ryder Cup. It's like, this is what the Democrats can't do. Trump is just at the... It's like, I'm Mr. Utz. People who are familiar with my brand know I love Utz. And so Trump is at the grocery store getting this popcorn. He's like, do you like this? Does your wife like this? It's like, he is like a personable guy. Like, he probably is fun to be around. When he's not the fucking dictator ruining all of our lives out of like narcissistic vengeance. Like, he probably is like kind of a fun... I mean, we got to find common ground with the Nazis. No, I'm just kidding. This is what I'm saying, is the Democrats haven't figured out how to do that. I mean, Mamdani knows how to make like TikTok videos. So apparently that's the key to politics now. But his scavenger hunt thing I thought was very cringe and millennial. And to be honest, I just don't like, I find him and his supporters like annoying. Okay. Because I'm not as cool as they are. Okay. I'm not as smart as they are or cool as they are. I am a libtard because that's all that's ever worked in my lifetime. All I've noticed in this country, when a Democrat is president, things are pretty chill. When a Republican is president, the world is literally hell. And if you have any consciousness whatsoever and you live through it, see, Gen Z were kids when 9/11 happened. They didn't really live through it. They were oblivious. They were in little childhood. They don't know anything about politics. They live in Never Land. It was not fun. Everybody who with any brain realized they were eroding our civil liberties. It was a police state, war all the fucking time. It was already a brutal, violent place when George Bush was president. Like, granted, like, the Democrats are war criminals too, okay? But if you look just objectively, the wars are not nearly as bad, okay? Bill Clinton didn't start fucking Iraq and Afghanistan. There was no 9/11 when Bill Clinton was the fucking president. Or Obama, for that matter. Like, it's just like, use your fucking head. Like, do I want to have my life be a living hell for 8 years? Or like, would I rather just not even hear anything about the president ever? Or like he wore a tan suit and he gave like the best speech you ever heard. Oh, fuck that. Give me the reality TV star, like steroid, violent rhetoric, stunt president. Let's crash this fucking country like Evel Knievel. All these people at the Ryder Cup, they're dressed like it's a tractor pull. They're like wearing, they look like Evel Knievel. There was 5 guys in like red, white, and blue like jumpsuits. It's like, has the Ryder Cup, this is like Happy Gilmore. Has the Ryder Cup always been like this, or did Bryson DeChambeau do this? When he decided to like, and I get like a lot of golfers are MAGA. They're rich. That's what golf is. They don't want to pay taxes. They never have. It's like you get $4 million for winning a golf tournament or something. You really want to give $3 million of that away to fucking Kamala to fight and to give Israel bombs? Well, yeah, you probably do if you're fucking Payne Stewart or whatever, but or Scotty Schiefer. These new golfers are such ass wipes, man. They wear these like skinny white jeans, and it's like, what the fuck are you wearing? Bryce and DeChambeau, you are like, you're a mimbo. Like, well, you're good at golf? What happened to fucking Tom Weiskopf? What happened to Lee Trevino? Or Corey Pavin? I guess golfers have always been kind of inbred white retards. But yeah, you gotta be fucking provocative on the internet. You gotta go over the line. That's what's sexy. That's what's edgy. The Democratic Party, it's like, oh, they're all old. They all need to get primaried, man. Primary Schumer, primary Nancy Pelosi. It's like they are old as fuck, right? They are fucking old. Where's the JD Vance of the millennials? Is it Mamdani? I want an AOC Mamdani ticket. 28, AOC Mamdani. No more of this Tim Walz shit. I agree with Kamala. She wanted Buttigieg. She should have picked Buttigieg. She should have gone with Buttigieg. Kamala should have just fucking one battle after another that shit. She's a strong black woman, like fucking Perfidia or Pussy, Jungle Pussy or whatever. Own it. You know, just people need authenticity. They need authenticity through social media, okay? If you can fake authenticity through some kind of online persona, it's like that's how you're going to win elections now. Mom Donnie has figured it out. You know, you've got to tap into some kind of viral trend or something. It just, I mean, if you're a leftist, you just got to tell everybody what they want to hear. Yeah, we're going to give you free healthcare, free fucking, you know, buses, rent freeze. I love all of it. Those are like my policies. Dude, if there were free buses, it would literally change my life. Like my life would go up 200% in like quality. Here's a life hack, okay? All the New Yorkers out there. This is a secret. Don't tell anybody. But if you have the time and you're traveling within Manhattan, especially at night, the bus is way better than the fucking subway. It's way more fun to take the bus from Astor Place to the Upper West Side than to get on the fucking C train or the 2 train or whatever it is. Like, it's like a fucking limousine. And it's like, a lot of times there's nobody on it. You got the whole thing to yourself. Great window views, giant windows. What is it? I mean, it's like a huge apartment. It's like a railroad apartment. That you have all to yourself. They got chargers. You can look out the window. You're driving through the iconic, you know, you don't have to pay an Uber fucking fee. You don't have to pay a fucking city bike fucking shit. Be on your phone, whatever you want. So take the bus. Mom Donnie, free buses. It's like, damn, that would be insane. But it's like, that's literally all you have to say to get like leftists on your side. Just be like, yeah, we're going to fucking bring down the costs. We're going to price control. We're going to do socialism. We're going to do democratic socialism. It's like, I don't necessarily think that there is truth to the narrative that like, there would be democratic socialism if the DNC wasn't like preventing it. I don't know if I agree. Like a lot of people throw slander at the Democratic Party with like without actually like looking into like what they tried to fucking do. You know, like I heard somebody say something about, well, both Democrats and Republicans went on this trip to Israel. There was recently some huge envoy to Israel, and like 20 fucking senators went, or a bunch of fucking representatives went, dozens and dozens of fucking. And so you're like, oh, okay, well, they both went, like they're the same. It's like, well, if you actually look into it, they're not really exactly the same. Like the Republicans are Christian conservatives. They are really all about Israel. They really want to send the Jews back to Israel to cause the rapture, right? Which was supposed to happen this week, apparently, and didn't. Surprise, surprise. It's not going to happen until the Jews go back to Israel. That's what the Bible says, right? That is literally what these Christian conservatives believe. That's why they love Israel. You're not going to find Democrats like that, generally speaking. They're not Christian, you know, psychos. They don't believe this country was founded on Christian. A lot of them, you know, they might be pro-Israel. There's different reasons for that. You know, for most of my lifetime, there was a lot of content about the Holocaust, right? We were watching The American President the other day. It's meant to scare white people into supporting Israel. We were watching The American President the other day, written by Aaron Sorkin, directed by Rob Reiner, two of the biggest libs probably in existence. Rob Reiner might be the biggest lib. I mean, he's meathead, for Christ's sake. And in the beginning of the movie, they're talking, you know, he's going over there's a cabinet meeting and shit, and they're talking about their policies and what they're going to do and shit. And one of the cabinet members says something about, and we're going to have the troops go on the ground and like train the Israelis, right, President? And Michael Douglas is like, right, yes, exactly. You know, that was put in this movie like this is the positive thing that America does We support our Jewish brothers and sisters because of the fucking Holocaust, and they are victims of like one of the worst crimes in human history. And like, you know, there was a lot. They used to show fucking Schindler's List on network television every year without commercials. Like, they didn't do that with fucking Jurassic Park or Gone with the Wind. It was like the Henry Ford Foundation paid for it. And it's like, they, you know, was that brainwashing? Was that propaganda? Like, yes. That's what that's what everybody believes now on the internet, because everybody's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist, which is also insane. You know, like, people literally think like the Jews run everything. They're the cause of all the problems. Like, that is also fucking insane. And like, not a healthy, or like, even like, that's like a malignant thing to believe. Like, so the fucking, you know, discourse has shifted a lot. This is one reason why they want to own TikTok, because the algorithm exposed all these young people to like these anti-Semitic, you know, pro-Hamas viewpoints. And they think that's what's breeding the kind of free Palestine. I mean, Ashley's not even political, really. You're not going to hear Ashley like be that outspoken politically, even though she is like left, supposedly. And she has a fucking Palestine sign on her wall. You know, like, it is like just like a cultural trend for young people. Like, if you're cool, just like being woke was hot and cool. Like, but I think people resented that. And but maybe it was. I don't know. Like, the Democrats need to find out some way to piss off the Republicans. We need to, because they are actually the establishment, like, lame. It doesn't matter if a bunch of jackoffs at the Ryder Cup are like loudmouths and dress like fucking clowns, and like they dress like Super Dave. Like, they're still just white guys. They're still lame. They're still like Sean Penn in that movie, or the Christmas Adventurers. Like, they're still just stick up their ass, like stodgy fucking white, like Trump is. He's just a fucking like twerp. He's just like a rich fucking like twerp. You know, he's never worked a day in his life. He's never done manual labor. He's not a real man. He's soft, flabby. You know, you got to work to like develop your body, work to develop your muscles. Like, Trump has never done that. He's like a fucking 80-year-old baby. He probably has like the fucking muscle mass of like a fucking like obese 3-year-old. You got to sling mud on the internet, okay? Like and subscribe, for Christ's sakes. We're talking about one battle after another. We are justifying everything that the libs do. I mean, you're not going to tell me. I mean, there is a lot of slander thrown at the left. There's a lot of money and effort and time spent on slandering the Clintons, spent on slandering Hillary, spent on slandering any kind of, like, Kamala is a black woman. And yet somehow they convince woke people that it was better to not vote or vote for Trump. It's like, this is a black woman. Like, it's all fucking virtue signaling. It's all fucking superficial, you know, like Instagram fucking photo politics. Like, if nothing else, that would have been like a huge fucking step forward for our country. Like, if for nothing, and a lot of fucking identity politics shit is just like kind of ornamental, you know, like Clarence Thomas or something. I mean, Kamala wouldn't have been that bad. She would have been a pretty fucking good president, I think. Or, you know, good figurehead for like the liberal, like, status quo of just like, hey, let's maintain some kind of sanity. Let's bring these prices down. You know, let's like maybe regulate some of these data centers. Let's not sell our power grid to like, let's not sell off our country to billionaires, basically, is what Trump is doing. Like, I guess everybody sees that. I hope people see that. But like, that is what is happening. That is what has happened. That's why they're like militarizing the fucking police force, because they want to shut down through Palantir AI surveillance, they're going to go through my live stream captions and find out that I'm a libtard who called Trump a flabby baby. But hey, I said some positive shit about him. Play those clips. I said he was like a personable guy. He's definitely charismatic and he's definitely funny. I mean, Trump is funny. Funny is not necessarily a good quality. I think it's overrated. I think a lot of people are hiding behind funny. A lot of the funniest people I've ever met were like toxic right-wing pieces of shit. Because humor is kind of cruel. Like that's what it is. It's like a better to laugh than to cry, but you're still crying. It's still like a violent. It's still like a impact. It's still like a jab. You know, it's still like a thrown kind of punch or something. It's so I don't know. It's I think there's a lot of time and money spent slandering the Clintons because they tried to do positive shit for poor people, basically. You know, maybe that's not what the narrative is now. The Clintons slashed welfare. They were big on immigration, NAFTA, whatever. That's the only shit people remember. That's not really what I remember as a kid in the 90s. I remember it being a lot easier. I remember there being government programs. We used to get earned income credit. My dad would get $3,000 every year because he had 2 dependents. So it was like this huge, tremendous financial boon to us as fucking poor white trash to get a $3,000 check. It's like, fuck, we're going to Florida. You know, that was the only time my dad bought me this little fucking like Palm Pilot type shit. This was in 1997. It was like a little laptop. It had like a keyboard, but it was like kind of a black and white green. It looked like a Game Boy screen or something. But it had like word processing and it sort of had, I think it even had Internet Explorer. Not that I could ever get that to work, but like I basically sort of had a kid laptop. Thanks to Bill Clinton. Okay. So you will always have my vote, Bill. I don't care what they say about you in the island or being on the plane. I believe you. I mean, Bill Clinton was sex. He literally had sex in the Oval Office. That's pretty cool. I mean, come on. We'd be lucky. We'd be lucky to have that now. That is fucking awesome. In the 90s was the peak of human civilization, at least in my lifetime. The president was getting a blowjob while working. It was like Michael Douglas was the president. It was like Disclosure. Men were getting sexually harassed. That's how great everything was. That's, you know, people were having sex, not like Gen Z incels. That's why these guys are killing everybody. Do the MAGA people not realize that? By creating all these incels, you're creating a violent, extremist, terrorist incel organization that's going to come for you. Get blowjobs back in the White House. Okay? Who's going to get a blowjob in the White House? We need a blowjob-worthy candidate. I think that's what the Democrats should focus on. Gavin Newsom, I definitely think could get a blowjob in the White House. There's definitely a lot of women who'd want to give him a blowjob. I think he's so honorable, though. He'd be like, no, I need to go save California. I need to go save these West Virginians from themselves. We need to put Trump in jail. How can we get what's going on in Brazil in this country? They literally put Bolsonaro in jail. How the fuck did that happen? Brazil is so dramatic. I've never been there, but it's like, Jesus Christ. First, it was the left guy was in jail. Then and Bolsonaro was the president, and he's slashing the Amazon, and the world's lungs are suffocating. And then they switched. He went to jail, and the Democrat guy became president again. How do we get that in this country, man? I mean, I think Trump is setting a precedent. He's trying to prosecute Comey. I think Trump's got to go to fucking jail. There needs to be justice for this cocksucker. There needs to be Die Hard style justice. Trump needs to be Hans Gruber, okay? That's the only way. That's the only fair outcome of this, okay? Is if Trump gets Hans Gruber. I'll say no more, okay? I'm dog whistling. That's a dog whistle to all my toxic. That's a code. All the people in One Battle After Another, they speak in this code. I guess it's a hallmark of revolutionaries. But anyway, we're going to invade Venezuela. Did people hear about this? They called all these generals to Washington, I'm assuming to like purge. They're going to demand a loyalty oath and fire everybody who is not willing to like betray the Constitution, basically, and be loyal to Trump. That's what I think is happening. And I think they do want to invade Venezuela. Fuck. I mean, that's what Hitler did. You know, it's like at some point they're going to turn the guns on the hostages and be like, this is a fucking stick up. Nobody move. Putin's going to invade Poland. Trump will invade Mexico, Canada, Greenland. Russia and the United States will be united. It's all wrestling, people. It's all pro wrestling, okay? I don't know. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? I would not want Trump to get a blowjob in the White House. I mean, he's not like, I mean, he's a sleazeball, but like the Democrats need, I mean, Kamala would have been a great president, but she doesn't have like X factor. That's the problem. It's like Obama had X factor. You know, Americans need that. Okay. This election is like American Idol. That is the model people have for like voting. It's a fucking reality show. Like Trump understands that he's literally a reality show contestant. Like the Democrats sort of understand that. We're like the debate's a reality show, but like, they need to embrace and find somebody with some goddamn charisma. You know, it's pretty much that simple, actually. And like those candidates usually break out, like Obama, right? They wanted Hillary when Obama happened. So they were still trying to shove, like nobody really wanted John Kerry. He sucked. Then they tried to shove Hillary, and people didn't want Hillary. They wanted Obama, and they got Obama because he had the X factor. Hillary is famously cardboard, like all of the good Democrat candidates, because they're politicians. They do their job as government servants. They're not celebrity, reality stars. They're not game show hosts. They're like, I guess one of the fundamental things about America is that anybody could become the president. And so Trump kind of proves that, where it's like, this is a guy that's not supposed to be president. He's a reality. He's just got his job is just like so stupid and like glitzy and in your face and ostentatious and gaudy. And it's like, people need that. Or it's like it's been weaponized. The tech people, they want Trump. They're pushing the narratives that shift the electorate, split the left, where you've got, to be honest, the Palestine thing is like, it's an impossible situation to win on, because it's like abortion or something, where it puts you into this morally indefensible position where it's like, oh, so you're defending genocide. You're either against the genocide or for the genocide. It's like that simple. That's the issue. It's like, Jesus Christ. Biden didn't invade the fucking place. He's not literally doing this. Like, the United States has provided aid to Israel for a long fucking time. It would be highly unusual for the president to like break precedent with that. Trump definitely not going to do it. If you understand what the fuck, his policies have been with Israel. He's pretty fucking pro-Israel, and he has absolutely no respect for the Palestinians whatsoever. He doesn't think they have any claim whatsoever. That's his position. And that is different than the Democrats. That is different than Biden. That is different than Kamala. Like, is it? But they're still for the fucking shit. They're still pro-genocide. It's like that narrative works that works to the Republicans' advantage. It splits people. It disengages young people from, Kamala. Not that like the Democrats were incredibly ham-fisted. It's amazing how out of touch they are. It's unbelievable. Frankly, it's unbelievable. Like they do deserve to go out of business. I think that's what people want to see. They think like the Democrats need to be fucking punished because they're horrible. And they are. Their brand is so fucking lame. It's like shocking. They think George Clooney and Beyonce can tell us what to do. George Clooney had way too much influence because George Clooney said that because Biden didn't recognize George Clooney, or because George Clooney thought Biden didn't recognize him. What I heard, the president has a person, right, with them that tells them when they're meeting people in the receiving line, you have like a guy that says George Clooney, Julia Roberts, who sort of like, presents the person. It's not necessarily saying the name because he doesn't know who the fuck it is. George Clooney is such a narcissist that he thought, oh, the president had to be told who the fuck I am? I am George fucking Clooney. I think he's very insecure that his star has faded. I think he's in a late career scramble to try to be relevant again. I don't think he ever expected Hollywood to die or fascism to take over the United States. I think he thought he was going to be Clark Gable forever because during Bush Obama era, Clooney was like this fucking like golden movie star. I mean, he had an aura. He had a classic movie star like elegance that really no other movie star had. And he made a lot of good movies. He made smart movies. Maybe the last time people will ever do that. Who the fuck knows? But then he kind of went and did his tequila thing with Randy Gerber and made a shitload of money. He's like, Clooney, he might be a billionaire. He's definitely worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why he lives in Lake Como. But I think even his wife is like, George, you're kind of like, you've kind of like let yourself go, man. Like, you need to get yourself out there and like show us again. People don't realize how fast celebrity fades. Like you can be one of the most famous, like Ruta Valentino or something. People still know who that is, sort of. Do people know who Douglas Fairbanks is? Like, I doubt it. Like, that was something Rob Reiner said I think that's one reason why he's doing the Spinal Tap movie, why he's like very visible in the campaign, because it's like, he said something about how young people don't know what All in the Family is. I think he got used to being Meathead, where probably in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, like, he couldn't get away from it. Everybody he went everywhere was probably like, oh, Meathead. It was probably like a fucking curse. Oh, it's fucking Meathead. Shut up, Meathead. And then people just forgot. Like, that's how quick the fall off is. Like, people just, they don't watch old shit. They don't want to watch old shit. That's like, they want something new. They don't want some unk shit. Now more than ever, it's like, God damn, I don't want to watch some fucking like millennial. Ugh, that's so millennial coded. Oh, gross. That's my worst nightmare, is to be like a millennial. Like, oh my God. George Clooney is so cringe. Ugh. Kamala, Hillary, Pelosi, they're so cringe. Ugh. They're so old. Trump feels young because he's like viral. He's a fucking edgelord, The internet has weaponized like hate speech. The internet has weaponized like, it's one thing when fucking Howard Stern does it or something. It's like Trump, like that's one reason why I'm talking about the Ryder Cup, is because the fans have become like assholes. The Americans are like yelling shit at Rory McIlroy. He's telling him to like shut the fuck up. It's like ugly. It's like, this is because of Trump. 100%. Like, he has catalyzed this potential for like negativity, animosity, hostility, making fun of people, bullying people, saying just like unspeakably like rude things to get attention. I mean, the internet does that because the people who are in control of it have no ethics or moral responsibility whatsoever. They will show us literally anything that will get views. Like take, for instance, the Charlie Kirk thing. I saw it. You probably saw it too. It's like they would not have shown that probably on network television. And if it happened live, that would have been one thing, but like they would have censored the clip. They would not have just shown it to you. Like they want to provoke you. They want to trigger you. They want to polarize people. They are responsible. And that's why they work with Trump. They are very in cahoots. You know, one hand washes the other and they fucking help each other out. They've got great chemistry. These tech fucking incel dark Anakin Skywalker wannabe South African. A lot of them are South African. It's like, yeah, there is some kind of weird, like white supremacist, like hate that has really taken fucking power through like the fucking the bottlenecking of all of our attention through like four things, basically. You know, we're either on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, probably at this point. That's pretty much it. Like, that's our life. That's our lives now. We've been consumed by this totalitarian, authoritarian personality contest. There are winners and losers. There's people who can monetize, who are able to create polarizing content, arouse people emotionally, anger people, educate, I guess, or at least like flatter people's idea that they are being educated, telling them what they want to hear, maybe confirming what they already believe, what they don't know how to say. Like and subscribe if you've been with us. This is probably the what else? Yeah, so it's amazing that they convinced that things would be better off. I mean, they kind of played possum. You know, they were not really honest about how radical and transformative. They disavowed the Project 2025 thing, and now they're implementing it, and like they're fucking 60% of the way done or something. So it's like the job is like there's a lot of permanent damage that's already been done. And, they've just created this climate of just like it, now it's like people in public are doing provocative, like shitty things to just get content of people reacting, or just like behaving. I mean, I guess these people at the Ryder Cup think that people are going to film them. Like I have seen videos. It's like the top 5 shit that people yell at golf tournaments after you hit the ball. I've abandoned my child. It's like, I think they're gonna go. They think they're gonna go viral or something. That's why this shit is encouraged. Like, and maybe they are. I mean, I saw videos about it, but it's like, god damn, it's weird to see that like that disease of fucking like. I mean, it's like January 6th. The Ryder Cup felt like fucking January 6th. It felt like it was just like about to lose control and become like some kind of weird insurrection. Or just like this rabble of like MAGA, like infantilized, like baby. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of bad people are making money off the internet. And the rest of us can't even get a job. Can't monetize any way at all. Can't figure out how to monetize. My viewers are all over the place. I had 17 people watching. Is that possible? Is that actually possible? I've had about 8 or so viewers for like, this is a huge audience for me. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. What the hell else? How else can I justify? I mean, what are we supposed to do now? Are we supposed to be like one battle after another? Is that what this movie's about? It does feel like it could light a fuse culturally. I think that that's good, but we don't want to get accused of it inspiring leftist political violence. I don't think the leftists are about that. You know, I at least not anymore. I think people do believe in peaceful, nonviolent. I'll tell you, the most effective fucking thing people have done is the Jimmy Kimmel protest. Free Jimmy Kimmel. When people canceled their Disney Plus and they canceled their fucking ABC streaming, that is why they fucking put his ass back on the air. And people need to realize, like, that is where their fucking power is. Like, we need to stop going to our jobs, stop paying our rent, stop paying these ridiculous prices for everything. You know, the reason why the inflation is so high is because people will pay for it. They will charge you literally whatever they think they can get away with. That's all free market means. It just means charge as much as you possibly can without, I mean, who's to say how much the market will bear? Where does the line stop? Why was there fairness in pricing for most of our lifetimes until like the last 5 years? And it's not just because of the fucking pandemic. I mean, maybe that is what happens when you fucking juice $5 trillion into the free market at one time. But I don't think so. I think they're using that as a fucking excuse. I think they really are using that as an excuse to hoard wealth, to bilk us. And like the prices of everything have gone up so much everywhere. It's like that's new. You know, it used to be if an apartment in the middle of nowhere in this country like was less money, like nobody wanted to live there. It feels like the people who set the algorithm have decided to drive us crazy and make us hopeless and be suicidal because they want to kill us. And part of that is raising the price of everything to past the point of like bearability. You know, it's like it's no longer bearable to be able to afford anything. You know, we're being like spiritually crushed. There's no possibility of being an artist. You're not going to have time. You know, you've got to go to fucking the Apple store or, you know, stock groceries and no one's hiring either. You know, a lot of what I'm hearing is like the economy is being propped up by like wealthy consumption. Like poor people, which is most of us, you know, something like 60 or 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck, couldn't afford a $400 emergency. Most of us like just stop buying shit. I guess. I mean, apparently a fucking used car is $100,000 now. I mean, it's way more expensive than it was. I think that is a consequence of like algorithmically driven pricing. I think it used to be humans decided shit how much it should cost. Oh, I think, you know, a couple $1,000s is fair for this Toyota Corolla. As somebody who works, I make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, $40,000, $30,000, $2,000. That's fair to somebody else for a car. Now it's like, oh, the algorithm says this person can pay $12,000 based on statistics. God knows what they fucking come from. Or the market could pay, someone will pay $12,000 for this fucking car. We will find somebody out there in a desperate, probably, or some rich asshole who just has more money than fucking brains and could just consume anything, anywhere, anytime. I mean, that's what I see in New York, right? There's these kind of luxury consumption items like Dubai chocolate. It's just sort of like, it's $20 fucking dollars. Well, I guess the appeal of that is like it's a way to participate in luxury if you're poor. You get to feel like you're going to Dubai without actually being an influencer or having any money at all. Having enough money to afford like a, you know, $800 plane ticket or however much it costs. So you just get Dubai chocolate. It's the next best thing. It's like going to fucking, you know, Qatar. It's like, oh, wow, I'm going to the Riyadh Comedy Festival and a chocolate candy. I mean, they're comedians. They'll do any gig, okay? They will do any gig. Look at the WWE. Look how they're selling out to fucking Saudi Arabia. Like, those people have got a lot of fucking money to throw around. And it's just another one of these things where it's like it's no longer taboo. The taboos don't mean anything. All the lines have been crossed. it used to be like we would not do business with those people because it was wrong. Certain things about the way they treat people, the way they imprison people, execute people, whatever it is. Now it's like, fuck yeah, Triple H. Let's get Triple H's ass. I do want to say this. I am not surprised that Triple H is a piece of shit. I've always hated Triple H. From when I started rewatching wrestling in the 90s, one of the first things I remember seeing, first I was into DDP, but then I get into The Rock. I remember seeing The Rock versus Triple H ladder match at SummerSlam. I watched it on scrambled pay-per-view in 19 whatever that year. I think it was 97 or 98. Maybe it was 98. I think it was 98. SummerSlam 98. The Rock versus Triple H ladder match. Look it up. It's a good, I mean, every ladder match is good, generally speaking. It's hard. It seems like it's hard to have a bad ladder match, but they kind of, I don't know. It's like the ladder might as well just be a part of the fucking ring now. They use it so much. It is worth using. It makes it like fucking superhero shit. It's like Spider-Man. Now suddenly you're fucking flying. Even though neither The Rock nor Triple H is really aerial. Both of them are kind of like ground wrestler type guys, power. But so I always hated fucking Triple H. I always thought he was just like lame. He kind of gets, he's part of like my frustration, I guess, with just like life in general, is like he's somebody that he doesn't necessarily get over because he's, like The Rock is incredibly charismatic. There's an allure, his gift of gab, the people's elbow. Like, where the fuck did that come from? That's inspired. The Rock was like inspired. And there's a reason why he's like a pop culture phenomenon. Whereas like Triple H just has the right friends. He's buddies with Shawn, the Click, and of course, Stephanie, right? He was smart about that. So he knows how to play the game. He's political, and he succeeds based on just kind of like hanging in there. He's not that interesting. He's not that great of a wrestler. He's never going to really put on that many like 5-star fucking matches. He's good. In retrospect, maybe I didn't give him enough credit. His knee fucking thing, and maybe I'll change the angle. For people bored of the angle. I'm losing viewers. I had 17 people watching. It's because I was talking about politics. Now I'm talking about wrestling. Surprise, surprise, this is, this video podcast covers a lot of different, it's poetry, it's wrestling, politics, it's Kamala, it's Hillary, it's blowjobs, it's New York, it's show business, it's movies, it's a lot of things. It's my personal life. It's utopic thinking. It's a group meditation. Okay, so what else? Triple H. He's always been kind of just like a dud. He's just lame. But he maneuvers. He's kind of indestructible. He's had a lot of like really, like his injuries have been pretty gnarly. And I guess he lives in like severe physical pain at all times, which sucks. But now he made it to the top of the mountain through just Machiavellian kind of gamesmanship. He's the boss now, which is not really a surprise, actually, and kind of a lesson, I think, about life. It's like, I don't know, is that tortoise in the hare? I think he always wanted to do that, maybe. But apparently he's doing a terrible job. People are complaining about how the booking sucks now. People always complain about the booking, but it seemed exciting when Netflix was taking over and TKO and all this shit, because it felt like they were going to maybe get after Vince McMahon. Apparently, it's no surprise that the 80-year-old steroid deflated Muppet of Vince McMahon was no longer booking relevant material in the PG era, him and all his comedy writers. As Cornette's always complaining about how the wrestling guys are comedy writers. They're all comedy writers. They don't know shit about wrestling. I am more of a fan of wrestling, I gotta say. Not that cartoon shit they got in New York. So anyway, yeah, Triple H, he made it to the top. And so he's selling out to the Saudi Arabians, the authoritarian. Maybe that was always wrestling's destiny. I mean, wrestling is a pretty authoritarian sport. Vince McMahon was kind of an authoritarian archetype. Somebody needs to make a movie about Vince McMahon. That would be the ultimate American epic. 3 hour, 3.5 hour Vince McMahon. Citizen McMahon. You're fired. Anyway, yeah, so as wrestling goes, so goes comedy. They're both kind of in the same adolescent. And it's like, you got to look at it like these guys are in show business. It's no different than when G.E. Smith played at Republican National Convention. It's like, it's a gig, you know? Like I was in Central Park yesterday, and there was this wedding at Tavern on the Green. And so there was this fucking wedding band playing. And so as a member of the wedding entertainment industry, I'm a wedding DJ and master of ceremonies. Anybody out there getting married, keep me in mind. I will DJ and MC your wedding. Very low price. Custom playlists, whatever you want. But so I'm like listening to this band. I'm curious, like, what's a wedding band sound like in New York? I've always, I'm like, could I get a job in a wedding band? That's like a fantasy. I have a fantasy that I'm like in a wedding band. I think it'd be kind of a fun way to make money. I don't know. So I'm like, could I do this? I know people that played in wedding bands. I was a wedding DJ, which is kind of the same thing in a way. We're kind of making the band obsolete, but now everybody can DJ with a fucking, Spotify fucking playlist. So it's like wedding DJs are not quite as essential as they once were. It's kind of a fading. That'd be a good movie too, wedding DJ character. That's my intellectual property. Don't take that. That's copyright. So I wanted it, and it's Tavern on the Green. So I'm like, this is probably a pretty good wedding band. If they're playing Tavern on the Green, like this got to be expensive. And like, this is a very Gigi, like hoity-toity wedding. I mean, they're probably way more hoity-toity, but like, that's a pretty special place to have your wedding reception. I played some nice places in Columbus, but I think I did Columbus Conservatory, whatever that place is, the Botanical Garden place. I think I did one there once. I did. That was maybe the last one I ever did, because it was like one of the best jobs I ever had. I was climbing in the wedding entertainment industry. This is why I'm like reinvestigating that, because people are always telling me what a good host I am. I'm like, what does that mean? That does not mean anything. There's no hosting is literally nothing. You get up and you say, like, you just introduce things. That's it. That's all hosting is. And so as a wedding DJ, I was actually kind of successful. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Because I look like Pat Sajak or something. I look like fucking Chris Hardwick. So anyway, as an open mic host, it's like the same fucking thing. And so I'm like, what's this wedding band? Let's see what they've got. How much they're probably charging. They had a big band. They had a horn section, one guitar player, bass, keyboard. They had like 3 singers, I think. I think the bride may have sung with them at one point. They sounded like a wedding band. They were all reading from fucking iPads. It was like synchronized. They probably had all of the material literally in some kind of iPad like chart that just like played their whole fucking set. There was a lot of medley type shit. They'd segue from one thing to another real fast. And it was kind of disappointing because they literally just played. I was a wedding DJ in 2009 and 10. And one of the things that I didn't like about it was when they trained me, they're like, here's the songs that you need to play. This is what this is what you play. You start out with old songs because you need to get the old people dancing early. They got to go home. They're old. They get tired. Play old shit.
Benny, when I became a wedding DJ, people no longer wanted to hear like Benny Goodman and shit. People had kind of aged out of that. It started with like 50s stuff, like Shout, Twist and Shout. This is literally what they told me: play Shout, play Twist and Shout, play Celebrate, play fucking uh, Brick House. Then into the 80s, Billie Jean. It's like there was a prescribed, like, these are, and like you do a pre-interview with fucking the couple to see what they want to hear, and like there's a first dance song and blah blah blah. People were never really that specific about it, to be honest. Most of the shit that I did, it's like they didn't know what they wanted to hear. They just wanted you to make it work. You're the pro. It's Columbus Pro DJs. You're supposed to be the pro. You're supposed to know. And so this band is literally playing the same fucking songs. They played Celebrate. They played, it was just all like the ultimate wedding. Dancing Queen, which is a great song. They did a great version of it. The bass player, I don't know. These New York bass players, like they're so in the pocket. They all kind of sound the same. I don't know. They've got a very like ribbity kind of tone. They have a really nice low end. You have to have a very deep low end to compete with modern music. Most people want to hear hip hop. Most people want to hear, like they were asking Mark Ronson, right? Mark Ronson is on this press tour. Amy Winehouse producer. I like Mark Ronson. I actually do. I think he's one of the musical people of like the last 20 years. And I'm like, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. I don't love Uptown Funk. The band played Uptown Funk, by the way, of course. I don't love Uptown Funk, but I like Mark Ronson. And I think his book sounds cool about being a DJ in the 90s. And they asked him what gets any party started. What do you play that's going to fucking like get any? He said 90s hip hop. It's kind of true. If you play fucking Gin and Juice, any Dr. Dre shit, any kind of Dr. Dre, generally like, I mean, not necessarily old people, but the thing is, if you get young people dancing, it's like that's what everybody wants to see. They want to see the young people having a good time. That's what makes them think like, okay, well, at least we're at something cool. Like these young hot people are dancing. You got to make everybody happy. You got to bring grandma into it too. But there was a code that I never quite cracked with wedding and dance floor psychology. How do you actually, what are the secret songs? Because a lot of stuff that you play just like falls flat. And in this landscape, you're competing with like real DJs, people that beat match and mix shit together. I know people don't want to hear my wedding DJ insider reminiscence. I'm hemorrhaging viewers. I'll probably get off pretty soon. I mean, I'm pledged to do about 2 hours, but we'll see. Do people want to hear more about politics or fucking my wedding DJ years? The psychology. I'm trying to crack this. How do you get the pussy popping? Like in One Battle After Another. That's that line, my pussy don't pop for you no more. That's kind of a fucked up line. I feel like if Paul Thomas Anderson put that like in a piece of fiction, in a workshop, people would be like, oh, hell no. What is this white man like putting like ebonics in this black female character's mouth? How dare he? How dare he ventriloquize, like, appropriate black female culture. I mean, it was good he had strong black female characters, but like I said, they were sort of relegated to the background. They felt like the Supremes or something. It's like Sean Penn and the Supremes. It was a good film and a timely film, and that's important right now. But I also think it's getting a lot of points because of the politics of it. People are really excited to feel like there is like, although I will say that, the two characters who are rats in the movies are there's one trans character in the movie, or non-binary. One of the kid's friends is non-binary, and he rats out the other kids. or they rat out the other kids. And then a black woman rats out the other fucking revolutionaries. So it's like, I don't know. It felt like not really, the politics felt like not really totally fully formed. It felt like kind of like, I don't know, naive politically or simplifying it. Like it didn't really want to deal with any of the like, other than like the violence of obviously the detention centers and those police, the interrogations, but like it didn't go into any of the specifics of like, you know, right wing. I get those characters are kind of a stand-in for that. But I mean, the Christmas adventurers thing, I thought it's almost like denuding those. And you know, it's sort of like a Rosemary's Baby. Like they are like this kind of like sinister council. You're not totally sure what they're capable of. I thought the car chase was like not. As I'm watching it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You're going over all these hills. Like this is kind of weird. Like it was cool. It felt kind of amateurish. Like it was, I was not watching it like, whoa, this is fucking The French Connection or Bullet. I was like, this is a weird car chase. This is like a Walt Peterson movie with like the world's greatest DP with like a great crew. If Walt Peterson had P.T. Anderson's crew, then fucking Ace Diamond would have looked like this. People would have been saying Ace Diamond is the film of the year. I love the line about Tom Cruise, but I think it's reflecting like an old white guy sensibility, you know? Not that that's the worst thing in the world. Like he has a right to just like, there's also just a lot of like, P.T. Anderson has a lot of like rhyming dialogue and like that line, pop, my pussy don't pop for you anymore. It's like, that's kind of a weird, that's like a fucking, like, I don't know. That line it's not my favorite. I mean, I think P.T. Anderson is a great filmmaker. I like a lot of his movies, but I do not think, I don't think this movie is on the level of Phantom Thread or The Master or There Will Be Blood. It's probably as good as like Magnolia. Magnolia is a little bit more of a scope. Magnolia is kind of an epic in a way. I haven't seen Hard 8. It's probably not as good as Boogie Nights, but there's things I like about Paul Thomas Anderson a lot, and other things that I really just don't really connect with. So, I mean, is he better than Wes Anderson? The Phoenician Scheme didn't really get this much hype. They didn't glaze the Phoenician Scheme in quite the same way. But I think, I don't know, Wes Anderson is probably a little bit more up his own ass. Okay, I'm hemorrhaging viewers. Well, fuck, I should talk about the Ryder Cup some more, I guess. Let me get back into politics for all my fucking political junkies, my revolutionaries out there in the French 75. See, like that's an example of something I just don't really like. Like French 75, like I just think that's kind of a dumb name. It is what it is. Perfidia, whatever the name was, I thought was kind of a ridiculous name. Green Acres, whatever the hell that was. Green Acres, Petticoat Junction, whatever that was, I thought was ridiculous. It's an interesting texture to the movie, but it's not necessarily my sensibility totally. I'm not seeing that being like, ha ha ha. Jungle Pussy, ha ha ha. Like, I think Harmony Korine and Children of Men are kind of doing certain things that movie does like better. It wasn't like hardcore enough. It was a good movie, don't get me wrong. But I think True Lies was better. True Lies was a better version. Like, it wasn't that great of an action movie. People kept talking about how it's an action movie. It's like, it was okay. Didn't like revolutionize action. Like I said, it felt like a lot like No Country for Old Men. It was like this chase, desert. my impression of the book was it was more about the redwood trees and shit. I mean, I didn't read the whole thing, but I thought it was sort of about Northern California, characters sort of getting lost in that landscape after San Francisco in the 60s sort of died. They retreated to this kind of militia, remote Northern California where it's more wild, bigger trees, shit like that. All right, what the hell else do we need to talk about? The neo-libs, the neocons. I mean, it's too late now. They've already ruined the Ryder Cup. We're all fucked. It's the TikTokization of public space. It's all just a big content farm, everybody. You better get aura maxing and clip farming immediately. Start clip farming. Do you want to eat? Do you want to eat? Do you want to have fresh, clean water? You better figure out a way to aura farm right the fuck now, because that is the future of employment. Find out how to looks max. Find out how to get people to look at you on the internet. You know, I don't know. I have not figured it out personally, as you can see. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Wow, this has probably been my most successful live stream I've literally ever done ever. Thank you. Thank you. Send me money in the super chat, everybody. Wow. I'd like to thank Kamala, first and foremost, Hillary, the Clintons, Epstein, Bill Gates. Who else? Who am I leaving out? Les Wexner. I'd like to thank Peter Thiel, Curtis Yarvin, whoever that Palantir weird guy is. This is my inner circle. You know, we all go to we're Christmas adventurers. We go to our secret lair in the tunnels beneath the suburban estate. Or we go to Jeff Bezos's wedding, you know, in Venice with Leo. Leo was there. Mr. fucking Bob Flanagan. Mr. Revolutionary. Was that fucking Bezos's dream wedding? I mean, he couldn't do better than that. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You're one of the richest guys in the world. You figured out how to like literally swindle society out of, you know, everything. You've literally like intercepted every single form of like commerce in our fucking society. You can't get a hotter chick than that. You can't get like a less fucking like banshee faced psycho. She's clearly just like, yeah, calling people names on the internet is how you get clicks. She's clearly just like a money grubbing. She does not give a fuck about him. She clearly is just jacked on like the power. She's a succubus. It happens to the best of us. I mean, not that Bezos is good, but he's just got this demon attached to him. But he's a demon too, so you know, serves him right the fuck. He seems to be having a good time as he goes to Burning Man and fucking they're at every like douchebag. I've never seen a bigger douchebag, I don't think, than Jeff Bezos. Like, I mean, Elon Musk is a tremendous douchebag, but like Bezos just like personifies. I mean, Zuckerberg kind of a douchebag, definitely. God, it's a great who's the biggest douchebag? They're all so fucking lame, and like the ways they try to be cool are so cringe, if you will. I think Gen Z's biggest fear is being cringe. They do not want to be cringe. Millennials are cringe. Sincerity is cringe. Performative politics are cringe. Like Kamala is cringe. Kamala's like Wakanda forever. I'm Kamala Harris and I approve this message. That kind of shit does more damage to a politician than like if she got caught smoking a joint or something. If Kamala got caught like having sex in an airplane or something, it'd probably be like, whoa, she's cool. We like her now. She's trashy like us. She's a trashy piece of shit like the rest of us. Don't act like you're better than us. The Republicans seem to be like, that's the way they're energized. Christianity energizes people like, I'm suffering. You should be suffering. Why do you have something good? Like, you're not better than me. Trump's like us. He's a piece of shit. He's racist. You know, he just foul-mouthed, mean. He doesn't try to pretend to be something he's not, like Hillary, that uppity bitch. She thinks she's better than us, the fucking corrupt establishment. Fuck no. We're going to prove her ass wrong. She doesn't control me. You can't tell me what to do. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. That's like a prime motivating factor in Americans. Democrats need to figure out how to catch that breeze. How do we weaponize people's like hatred toward the government? It's just the most fucked up part is like objectively the Republicans are the big government. You know, when the Republicans are in power, that's when the government like invades our lives. That's when like there's big wars. There's smart ID. There's fucking checkpoints. There's ICE. There's the National Guard in fucking Chicago and Portland now. And, you know, they're fucking detaining people at the airport and people don't want to travel here. It's like, that's big government. That's all way fucking worse than anything Obama ever did. Like, Democrats' idea of big government is like, we want you to have health insurance. It's like, oh, fuck, sorry for being big government. We wanted it so you could see a fucking dentist without being like some country club, you know, Republican making money off, profiting off of fucking murder or people suffering. Like every other fucking business in this country. This country is like a misery factory. I really do think there's some kind of alien, we're some kind of alien power plant of suffering. And they're cranking up the heat. They're like pushing us toward slavery. They want us to collapse into having no choice. And the cost of living and shit is already right beyond the point of acceptability. You know, I don't know. I think people are realizing how good they had it. Oh, in the 90s, fuck, I could had a 2-bedroom apartment for $600. Or even, you know, 10 years ago. But it's Biden's fault. The goddamn inflation because of Biden. Biden inflation. The poor old bastard. All right, what the hell else do we need to talk about? So, I don't know. What are we going to do, people? We're going to go to CBG Festival. We're going to organize. We're going to form the Fringe 75. We're going to keep yapping about it. I mean, the reason why so many young men voted for Trump and are like conservatives now, I don't necessarily think it's like a rhetorical, like it's not because Nick Fuentes or Charlie Kirk or Rogan or Tucker or Peterson or Tim Dillon or Andrew Schultz or, you know, Two Bears, One Cup or the list goes on. I mean, just the fact, look at how many right-wing mouthpieces there are. Theo Vaughn has got Trump on. Not that he's even like, let's say for the sake of argument, Theo Vaughn is not right-wing. He did have fucking Trump on. Was Kamala? He had JD Vance on. He was at the inauguration. You're not innocent. You have a responsibility as a voter to educate yourself what the fuck you're voting for. You can't just take these politicians at their face value. People take Trump at his face value because they think he just has no filter and he just says whatever the fuck he wants to say. And it's like, yeah, but he's a liar. It's one of his prime. It should come as no surprise to anybody that he lied during his campaign about what he was going to do. I can't even think of, like, what's the left wing equivalent of that? What is it? It's Adam Friedland, it's Cumtown, it's neoliberal hell. It's not Red Scare. Even they're fucking right wing. They were supposed to be dirtbag left or whatever. They're MAGA. So the right has been, like they have been for a long time. They're highly organized. They strategize. They have these think tanks. They have the Heritage Foundation. There's a lot of people with a lot of money who invest their money in rewriting the tax code, rewriting the regulations so it benefits them. So they get more money so they can run their business however they want to run it. And so they've taken an interest in our politics. And there are no longer laws preventing them. There's no Citizens United. Literally, they can dump as much money as they fucking want. Elon Musk can spend $150 million electing Trump. There used to be laws against that, but they got rid of it. Probably the Clintons. No, I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court ruled against it when Obama was president. The conservative Supreme Court ruled against it, 5-4. And that's why we have money in politics. It's not because of Obama or the Clintons. Even though it happened when Obama was president. It wasn't responsible per se. And so there are reasons why the shit is the way it is. If you pay attention, you see it. But if you don't, then you just wander in and you're like, I like this Trump guy. He's talking sense to me. He's not lying out of both sides of his face like those AIPAC corporate controlled opposition. And he's funny. I like watching him on podcasts. Camel went on Howard Stern. Like it's 1997. I guess if you want to appeal to a bunch of like centrist boomers, Howard Stern is not a bad place to go. But if you want to appeal to Gen Z men, they all think Howard is too woke. And this was a shock to me. During the pandemic, I got on Twitch. I was live streaming on Twitch just like this, espousing my left-wing political opinions. And I was fucking shocked at how everybody on Twitch was a Trumper. Literally. They're kids. They're men playing fucking video games. That's who's on Twitch, is young dudes who want to watch people play video games for some fucking reason instead of have sex with women. They'd rather stay home and watch other people play video games on the internet. For some reason, I don't really know why. They've never been taught to get out of their comfort zone, and they're addicted to the internet. Like probably anybody after 1995 is. Or, if you especially were born in 2000, like you probably are really fucked. I mean, the internet has been powerful your whole fucking life. It's overcoming how satisfying some of the internet can be, or just encompassing, And so I was on Twitch just talking about, it was right in the middle of the pandemic. This was before Biden even got elected. This was like after 4 years of Trump, before Biden elected. And I'm on Twitch thinking I'll live stream my left-wing political views. There will be some left-wing people on here, etc. Every single fucking person in the comments was like a Trump, and they were stoked about it. They didn't know anything about it. They just liked Trump. Trump 2020. It's like they don't even know what the fuck they're voting for. They knew they didn't like masks, and they didn't like the lockdown. I don't think they had like a politics. I don't even, but like, it was like that's why I stopped doing Twitch. That and they don't save your streams. I like how YouTube saves them all. You can go back and watch them, which I encourage people to do. If you're just now watching, go back and watch my old streams. I'm a libtard. If you like this, you'll see a lot of my liberal leftist opinions. Because somebody's got to do it. I was just shocked. This is the youth of America. I remember there was these high school kids in Atlanta, Georgia. They were like Trumpers. It's like, what the fuck? You don't even know. You've never had a male like mentor or something. No one ever like showed you. You've been playing video games. You have no like positive male influence. Like Trump is bad. This is not an honorable, good man. Like he's inspired a lot of ugly, ugly divisiveness. And he's robbing our fucking country blind. And gearing up for war. So look forward to that, everybody. When we can't get rid of him because there's a fucking war and he can do whatever he wants. And they literally create concentration camps or something and just start slaughtering people. They just start slaughtering the political opposition. Like, it will happen. They will find you. They will catch you. Like, they'll chase you down like Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie, okay? Fucking Sean Penn is going to come after your ass. Do you want Sean Penn and his fucking comb coming after you? You want him licking his comb and coming after you? Is that what you want? Because that's what you voted for, okay? Never Kamala leftists, Jill Stein voters. That's what you fucking voted for. So get ready. We will have to fight. If they can find enough brutal meatheads like Lockjaw, they might be out there. I mean, I went to high school with a lot of people who would probably join ICE. I'm telling you. I would estimate probably at least 20, 30, maybe 40% of my high school graduating class would probably be join ICE. At least 10 to 20% of the male population, probably 30 to 40% at least would definitely get a job. If they had no other way to get a job and ICE was hiring, yes, they would become ICE. They would probably like it. There's plenty of people I went to high school with who I'm sure would love being ICE agents. It's like, these are the guys that the police wouldn't hire. They're too racist and fucked up to be cops. So ICE will gladly give them a job. They're perfect Trump material. Just like they need like human pit bulls. People have been abused their whole life. Weaponized. Those people will gladly get a job with fucking ICE. A career. They'll probably get the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So I hope they don't just like slaughtering us wholesale, but I would not put anything past Trump. If all of the world leaders just decide, hey, it's go time, we need to shut this shit down. Okay, I was looking at this interesting book the other day. I won't say where I was, but I was in this office at this, and there was a number of interesting books. And one of which was about the history of the CIA, was this thick. One of which was about how the future of America is in the cities. The pioneers are, and it was a survey of like all the cities across the country, what's going on there with entrepreneurship. The book was sort of, I think it was written in 22, and it was about not necessarily that the major cities are kind of frozen with innovation, but in a certain way they are. A lot of talent is priced out of New York, San Francisco, LA, Austin, because it's so expensive. So there's not really the same kind of innovation. There's just Google, there's the main kind of conglomerates, but there's not really like a place for, alternative invention, spirit of invention. And so they wrote about Columbus in it. They said something about how they're trying to turn it into the Silicon Heartland. They got some big contract to build these semiconductors or some shit for Intel. It's going to be the largest manufacturer of these semiconductors in the world. So it's like they won some $20 billion contract to like invest in like tech shit. I think because they want to build a bunch of data centers and like, places they can use electricity and fresh water, basically. Columbus, the Great Lakes, all that shit's going to become real valuable now that they need to build these fucking data centers. They need fresh water. They need electricity. They need to subsidize their electricity through taxpayer money, or like, people's electrical bills. All over the fucking country, people's electrical bills have skyrocketed because of AI and crypto and all these server farms and shit that are holding my live streams and my 4-hour-long YouTube videos. They're sucking up all the fucking natural resources and shit. And so Columbus is going to be the Silicon Heartland. It'll probably be a fucking desert in 50 years is what it will be. Like the Matrix. We're already in the fucking Matrix. And then, so this other book was, there was the Yale Alumni Magazine. So I was looking through the Yale Alumni Magazine. That was kind of interesting in a sad way. And then there was another book, and it was sort of like self-published. It was not really like a major publisher. It looked like something you'd find at like a poetry, like sell your books here type shit. But it was all about how to fight Obama tactics politically. I forget they were Obama / Asaya or something tactics. I forget the other word, but supposedly Obama got these tactics from this Asaya guy or something. So it was basically like, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump read this book. It talks about Kenya. It talks about, well, do we really think Obama's from Kenya? No, but why did it take him 2 years to produce his birth certificate? He didn't produce it till 2011, blah, blah, blah. So it's all these like super right-wing, like rich people talking points. And one of the things it says in the book is like Obama wants class warfare. Like if we elect Obama, a lot of his campaign rhetoric, right, is about the 1% taxing the wealthy. And so a lot of this book is like, hey, what's wrong with paying the amount of money the government asks us to pay? We do that, and yet we're called unpatriotic. And if Obama gets elected instead of Mitt Romney, then, Mitt Romney's not great. He had to get elected through like, being a socialist sort of. But if Obama gets elected, then there's going to be class warfare on like the rich. This is literally what these people are reading who get a Yale Alumni Magazine. And that's what they think. They think that there is the possibility, like Obama's like a leftist. He's like a Marxist, right? He's buddies with Bill Ayers, and like he's in the weather underground. He's practically Bob Flanagan. Like there's Obama and Huey P. Newton and Angela Davis, and they're all got fros, and they're wearing fucking black berets and camo, and they've got fucking rifles and shit. Obama might as well be a Black Panther Party member. It's like, you're out of your fucking mind. He was like Reagan. He liked that. He prided himself on being like a centrist. But I also think Obama had to kind of play it safe. Like, you don't really realize the dude was in a dangerous position as the first black president. And like, it's not a bad quality to try to like, they did fight for kind of left-wing stuff. And look at how they're characterizing him based on the shit that he did. Like, he is would the Free Palestine people claim that Obama was declaring class warfare? Like, I doubt it. I doubt if the Free Palestine people would see Obama quite the same way. Like, would they think that he's fucking from Kenya or whatever? Like, so it was kind of an interesting window into how the strategy. Like these people think that they shouldn't pay more taxes, and they are actively organizing. The book was not very well written. Like I said, it was self-published, and but hey, it made it on this desk, and like a lot of rich people might be reading this shit or thinking. I mean, this is the level of thinking on like Fox News or CNBC. It's like when you watch right wing like financial, it's not like intelligent, high level stuff. Like that's on MSNBC. Like it's not Keith Olbermann, you know. Why did I have these fucking things closed the whole time? I literally have had these fucking blinds closed. Fuck. I should open the blinds way sooner. Whoops. Like the level of discourse of like Jim Cramer, he's a smart guy in his own way, but like he's not fucking, Gore Vidal. He's not Susan Sontag. He's not Dick Cavett, okay? And neither is Nick Fuentes or fucking any of these manosphere guys. So all I'm saying is like the right wing is actively organizing, strategizing. They're strategizing people. That's why they're in control. It's a lot of military people, business people. Like they've got money. They are trying to make money. That's all they care about. What's the fastest way we can make crypto? Fuck yeah. Let's get $1 billion quickly. Can I get $1 trillion? Can I get a crypto worth $1 trillion? And will it fucking bankrupt like Niagara Falls of electricity at the same time? That would be perfect. If I could achieve both those goals, if I could melt a polar ice cap while becoming the first trillionaire through like the most useless NFT ever made, that like sign me up for that. That's my goal. That seems to be my goal as like a fucking tech billionaire. And they have bought the media, right? They own the media. They own Twitter. They own Facebook. They own Instagram. They own CBS. They own Paramount. They own Discovery. They own WB. They own fucking TikTok. They own it all. And they want to control what we believe, what we think. It's going to be like fucking North Korea. Except with Trump instead of Kim Jong-il. Yay. Kim Jong-Trump. You're not allowed to think anything. You're not allowed to do anything except what Trump likes. And it's all just like disgusting, ugly people. There's a reason why they're in finance, because there's no other way they can get laid, okay? They're not good looking enough. They're not cool enough. They don't have a talent. They have to go in finance because no one would ever have sex with them unless they were rich. And they want to control people. That's one thing I've noticed about people on the right and people who want to be rich is like they want to be your boss. They want to control you. They're lonely. They're sad. They're empty. They're broken because their parents traumatized the fuck out of them and didn't love them. Like Donald Jr. or Eric Trump. I mean, look at those guys. It's just pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. And so they have to become finance bros. Or I don't know, man. It's not a dumb thing to go into in a lot of ways because it's the only way to fucking make money anymore. It's just to be an investor or a venture capitalist or an analyst or a consultant. All of these things that don't mean anything, don't do anything. I'm an analyst. I'm a consultant. What the fuck is that? What does that mean? I'm an investor. It doesn't mean anything. I'm a consultant. I'm an analyst. Okay? I'm an investor. I don't have a super yacht. Where's my fucking personally branded helicopter? God damn it. sure there was some other thing I needed to talk about. Let me just check my notes real fast. Thank you guys for watching. Wow, this has probably been my most successful live stream ever. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Okay. Okay. It's very hot right now. It's not even charged. Fuck. Okay. I have to get my dopamine hit, everybody. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Whew. What else? Do I have notes? Was there something? There was some important thing, I'm sure, culturally. Well, did you see Trump meet with King Charles? That was some scary shit. And I don't know. It was weird because it was almost like the United States was like it. He said something about how the United States and England are like two notes in one chord or two verses in one poem. He didn't say stanza. He said verse. He wouldn't say stanza. I don't think Trump knows what a stanza is. I would bet all of my money that Trump does not know what a stanza is. Stanza, I don't. What is it? Stanza? Stanza? What is that? Oh, that's some kind of gay poetry thing? Okay. I love the gays. I mean, I love gays and the poetry. It's great. I mean, it's fantastic. I bet this guy's poetry is fantastic. Stanza? Okay, yeah. Two verses. England and the United States, like two verses of one poem. Two notes in one chord, I thought was weird. Does that mean like Canada? You know how Canada's like weirdly still like a part of, like, don't they have the Queen on their money? Should we just put the Queen on our money, Trump? You motherfucker. Two notes in one chord. What the fuck are you talking about? We fought a war. So we won't have to be in accord with these motherfuckers. But I don't know. You always go back to your roots, I guess. And it's one of those times. It's just a crazy time where it's like everything is crashing, folding up, the United States included. Everything we know. Late night television, Jimmy Kimmel, Saturday Night Live will probably get fucking canceled. What do you want to bet Trump puts Lorne Michaels in jail? What do you want to bet Lorne Michaels dies in a detention center? Sad. It's very sad. Or at least, he hates Kimmel and Fallon and Colbert. They'll be tortured to death somehow. I don't know. This nation is too good at heart. People used to believe in the promise of America compared to every other shithole on the planet. Somewhere along the line that got hollowed out, and the Republicans managed to convince everybody that it wasn't them. And kept doing it. They kept doing it. They kept doing it. Every time they got back in office, they kept doing it. They kept doing it. The Democrats created a budget surplus. Republicans got in office, created a huge deficit. I mean, do you think if the Democrats wanted to fuck us up, that they would create a surplus? Like, that's being responsible with your tax dollars. That's what everybody who's a conservative, that's what they believe. Oh, it's about, I don't want my tax, I'm conservative. Financially, I'm conservative, but liberally, I'm pretty chill. Bullshit. What do you call $1 trillion a month on a fucking war in Iraq? Illegal war. Afghanistan. The Republicans should own that. It shouldn't be them like slinging it at Hillary. Like Hillary did it. It's like fucking Bush did this. Trump, the war in Iraq is a very bad idea. It's like, yeah, blame the fucking Republicans. They voted for it. They started it. It was their idea. For shit's sake. I think Obama got us out of Iraq. I'm pretty sure, right? Obama got us out of Iraq for real. He didn't leave Afghanistan, but even Trump is going back into Afghanistan. They want to go back and get Bagram back or whatever. We're taking back Bagram because they kind of need it. You know, there was a reason why. We got to protect the world from socialism for corporate donors, goddammit. We got to keep getting the opium out of these poppy fields and selling it to Americans who cannot handle the stress and pain of daily life in this country anymore. Just give them the most like orgasmic way out. Get them all hooked on opioids till their fucking teeth rot out of their face. They just pass out on the fucking street. They got a needle in their arm, you know, just like dead on a fucking in the middle of a sidewalk as we step over them. Children of Men, people. Go back, watch Children of Men. Tell me Children of Men is not better than fucking One Battle After Another. I liked it. I liked it, everybody. It was good. But movie of the year? Maybe. It was about as good as fucking Anora was. You know? It was about, if you thought Anora was the best movie of the year, like I get why you loved One Battle After Another. Maybe I just don't have the visual literacy, but I'm just saying I thought it was an excellent film. See, I'm like this with the leftists too, and like woke too. Like I support it. I actually like it. But I do think there needs to be like a silver lining or something. You know, like there needs to be like a nuance within that. Like it was an excellent movie, but like was it as good as Melvin and Howard? Like no. Not by a fucking... Melvin and Howard has a magic to it. That was a very entertaining movie. I thought Leo was a great character for him. Very likable. It's like his dad. Apparently Leonardo DiCaprio's dad is like a revolutionary comic book distributor, beatnik guy. He's got like a fucking, goatee. He's a hipster, That's why Leo is like understands art and aesthetic and shit like that. And he's political. Because his dad is like a fucking hipster from like the 60s when people did that. I think Crumb or somebody talks about how they knew Leo's dad because his dad like distributed like underground comics. Like that's literally what he did. Underground comics like Crumb and shit. American Splendor. That's who Leonardo DiCaprio's dad is. So the Bob Flanagan character is a lot like that. Just this kind of nurturing... there's a biblical thing. A lot of P.T. Anderson has like biblical, like when he carries the baby out in the laundry basket, that's totally like a Moses out of the Bible moment to tie it into, those kind of timeless brainwashing propaganda stories. What are we supposed to believe, people? What's real anymore? What, Christianity. It's so prevalent. These myths, these monomyths, they don't work anymore. So what the fuck do we do? What do we think about? What's going to be the unifying imagery of, this sort of weird reflective panoply of like scattered mosaic, fragmented, you're just getting so many points of view. Anything sounds legitimate, basically. You're getting every side to every story. You're getting people just copying, people that don't know what they're talking about. You're hearing a lot of unverified people that are, what makes them qualified? You don't know these people. Just because they have a fucking microphone and they're in some kind of studio or something. It's like, who is this guy? And they're speaking like there's some kind of authority on happiness or, what works, what doesn't, how to be successful, whatever it is. That's an element of P.T. Anderson's movies is like the self-help thing. Frank T.J. Mackey. There's nothing in One Battle After Another that approaches even remotely Frank T.J. Mackey. Okay, P.T. Anderson has created some unbelievable characters. Plainview, Eli Sunday, Adam Sandler's character in that movie. I haven't seen that since it came out. I saw it in the theater. List goes on. I can't think of any. Anything Daniel Day-Lewis does is incredible. I didn't see Licorice Pizza. Ashley said it was bad, so I would watch it. I'm not a huge Haim fan. They're okay. Maybe I'm just a hater, I guess. She's in fucking One Battle After Another. But, I mean, there's nothing approaching Frank T.J. Mackey. Nothing can touch Respect the Cock. I mean, that is one of the all-time greatest. You know, I mean, when PTA shit works, like, it really fucking works. And, like There Will Be Blood, The Master, Phantom Thread, those movies really, like, were kind of unbelievable. Like, the authenticity of the world. He keeps talking about, DiCaprio keeps saying the worlds that Paul Thomas Anderson creates. I kind of agree. Like, he does create these kind of worlds. Like, Boogie Nights is like this world. Magnolia is kind of like this Los Angeles. You know, Punch Drunk Love is kind of this Altman Popeye, nether space, like what's that called? Like the empty mall or whatever. There's like a name for it. There's kind of like internet name for it. Liminal space. Punch Drunk Love seems kind of like a liminal space. I mean, There Will Be Blood is just like kind of really convincing period piece. Like it really feels like that era. There's nothing on that screen, you know, that doesn't look like that world. And he creates his worlds visually through these dynamic tracking shots, kind of unbroken. But like he's almost like he said something about how his dream career is Jonathan Demme. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Like Jonathan Demme or like Soderbergh, they kind of have these careers where it's like they did a lot of different genres. Like think about Silence of the Lambs. It's the same guy who did Melvin and Howard. It's also the same guy who did Married to the Mob. It's the same guy who did Stop Making Sense. It's the same guy who did, Rachel Got Married or whatever. Like he's kind of all over. Like Soderbergh's like that, where it's like every fucking movie is like he's totally evolving. It's never the same story. It's never the same world. It's always some unpredictable, like Soderbergh. It's like Traffic, and then fucking, he does like some weird movie on like DV cameras or something. And then he does, Ocean's 11. And then he does, Solaris, or, then he does a fucking, he does all this crazy weird shit. Paul Thomas Anderson is like, every film's like kind of a different genre almost. Western. This was kind of a Western in a way. But, it wasn't like seeing Pulp Fiction or something for the first time. There's certain movies you see and you're like, whoa, this is like electrifying. I've never seen this before. I didn't feel that with this movie. There was nothing you haven't seen before. It felt like a really, really, really solid thriller, suspense, caper, chase with characters, memorable characters, funny dialogue. But like, it didn't feel like, whoa, shit, this is 2001 A Space Odyssey or something. Or fucking Star Wars, like this. It didn't feel like a landmark, other than the fact that it's so, like, it literally feels like somebody filmed it with like their phone, because it's so, like, feels like this moment politically. It feels like those characters just like stepped right out of fucking TikTok, you know. The TikTok, you know, periscope into everything. Protests, you know, anything that fucking happens, you're going to immediately see it on the internet because there's fucking cameras everywhere. It's like, when has that ever been true in human history? That just like you instantly have a video of, you know, literally anything that happens. Like they've got multiple angles on it. Snuff films, right in our algorithm. The algorithm showed me the snuff film. Probably to fucking, you know, to burn that image in everybody's head so they could politicize it like they did with 9/11. Somebody's got to pay. We got to invade somebody. We got to arrest somebody. Somebody's got to go to jail. We're seeking the death penalty. We're seeking the death penalty. What do we want to do tonight, everybody? The weather's been lovely. This is the New York Film Festival. I saw a video of Daniel Day-Lewis going into Lincoln Center. I think, you know, the whole press tour with PTA and DiCaprio has been in New York. So, you know, they're all over town. It's exciting that there is a movie that feels like, you know, a cultural sensation. Even if I like, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't really enjoy, to me, that movie wasn't verbal enough or something. There wasn't quite enough verbal. And the to me, the cinematography was not necessarily like the most, it was good. It was excellent. Like, don't get me wrong, but would I see that movie in 70 millimeter? Like, probably not necessary. It just looked like a Breaking Bad episode or something in a lot of ways. That's what I thought as I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, this looks like a shot they'd have in Breaking Bad. This big rock, and there's this guy, and then that looks like Breaking Bad. And that whole chase over the hills. I'm like, this could have been a Breaking Bad. It's a desert, it's a chase. It's like, this is like that train robbing sequence in Breaking Bad. Like, honestly, that shit, like when you see Mad Men, when you see Breaking Bad, that movie was not as electrifying as that stuff is in a weird way. You know, to me, it didn't hit. But that being said, like, it's a cultural meme. Not every movie does that. It's rare when a movie does that. There Will Be Blood did that. I mean, people were saying, I drink your milkshake and shit like that. That was like all over the culture. And honestly, I do think Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood like influenced like fashion. I think a lot of like Williamsburg, like artisanal mustache twirling, like back to like, I think that a lot of that was because of There Will Be Blood. Like Daniel Day-Lewis was like the alpha male, like Marlon Brando or whatever. The way he dressed influenced the way that what was sexy, what was cool. And I love Daniel Day-Lewis. God bless him. Son of a poet, Cecil Day-Lewis. We're lucky that the greatest living actor is like as sensitive, intelligent, mystical, and cool as he is. I mean, the dude has created just like monster characters with P.T. Anderson. Like, there was no one in this film that really I mean, the Sean Penn character is up there. It was definitely a very interesting performance, but it wasn't Frank T.J. Mackey, okay? It wasn't Respect the Cock, okay? There was no Respect the Cock in this movie. I am sorry to say. I mean, Respect the Cock is like, the dude really captured the zeitgeist. I don't know. He's good at that in a weird way. P.T. Anderson somehow he's good at that. You know, I will say, I think this is the piece of art, probably the first piece of art, at least in my male myopic white guy opinion, straight, that really like it feels like some kind of voodoo, like coming out at this time. Like Murder Most Foul felt like this. Bob Dylan, Murder Most Foul. That was the last time it felt like, whoa, how the fuck did this person drop this thing at this time? Right at the beginning of the pandemic, this fucking 20-minute epic song about national tragedy, confusion, violence, whatever, conspiracy, eeriness, discomfort, unsettled. And this felt like not that feeling, but it felt like it dropped right into the center of the zeitgeist in a crazy fucking way. Like, considering the guy's been writing it for 20 years, which, like I said, I'm not surprised. That makes sense to me. I remember I got pulled over by, well, I didn't get pulled over, but there was like a checkpoint for like the border patrol when I was driving through, I think it was either Arizona or New Mexico. I think it was Arizona. I think it was like around Tucson. It was like driving into Tucson. There was like a border patrol checkpoint. And every fucking, it was like you stop. It looked like Hank fucking, from Breaking Bad goes through your car or whatever. The whole thing, sunglasses, black hat, black vest, whatever. Military border cops checking your vehicle for whatever. Strays, stowaways, illegals, drugs. That was 2013. So the shit was still illegal most everywhere. And even at that time, it was like, this is intense. This is fucking like a police state. This is scary. That was Obama. Those Obama years. I didn't really travel that much during Bush era. I came to New York a few times. That was about it. Now that I'm old, I wish I would have gone to Europe or something when I was in my 20s. Because the world has changed so much. And travel has changed. Airbnb, Instagram, blah, 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 live streaming, whatever it is. 2006, 7, 8, the world was still whatever the hell it was before. Slower, more boring, more spacey, hostels, cafes, BO, cappuccino, no air conditioning, sweat, funky murals, broken shit, old furniture, clapboard. Everything is more clapboard. Society is way less clapboard. I like clapboard. There's not enough clapboard anymore. Now everything is shiny glass shit. Or, I don't know, some kind of gentrifier condo or whatever. Clapboard. We need clapboard. We need to, throw up a piece of wood, paint some shit on it. That's humanity. That's soul. I don't know. Should I keep going? Usually when I stream, I get more people the longer I go. Somehow I had 17 people watching at one point, believe it or not. Why? Is it because I was talking about Gaza? Gaza Mamdani, Labubu, Labubu Dubai. What's the next thing? Ryder Cup. Algorithm, are you listening? These are key words to my word salad for today. pontificating, pondering, proselytizing. I haven't done this in like a week, so this is important for me. There's been so many things this week where I'm like ranting at Ashley because I'm like, this I would live stream, but I can't live stream, so I'm gonna do it at you. There's so many things where I'm like, oh, this is, this would come out in a live stream, but I haven't live streamed all week, so it's like, where the fuck even is the news cycle? Like, what the fuck? There's been 7 or 8 or 10 different fucking Kimmel's back. I thought he would come back. I didn't really think he was going to get fired, to be honest. Well, they said that he's leaving in 26 anyway. They said Jimmy Kimmel's contract, and he was probably going to pack it up after 2026 anyway, like Conan did, and like Colbert is going to do, and everything is a fucking podcast now. Obviously, people are lonely and isolated. They want to hang out with, losers on the internet. I was looking at, because Theo Vaughn played Beacon Theater last night. Sold out. 2 nights, Beacon Theater. For some reason, a lot of stand-ups play the Beacon. And I'm looking at it like, I get why Theo Vaughn is famous. He is funny in a way. I think he's entertaining. I haven't really watched his podcast, honestly, that much. He has pretty high-profile guests, but, I don't really want to enable that. He just had Louis C.K. on, so it's like he's part of sort of retconning canceled people back to the mainstream and normalizing really fucked up, because he just plays this kind of rube. He's like Andy Griffith. He's like Lonesome Rhodes. Theo Vaughn is our Lonesome Rhodes. Aw, shucks. Gee, I didn't know Trump was going to deport people. Fuck. This is fucked up, man. You think he would have said that? I remember when he said he was going to build a wall. You remember that? I think the wall is in fucking one battle after another. I literally think Trump's wall is in the fucking movie. I think they film a scene at the wall. Felt that way. Not sure if that's me imagining that, or it seemed like that's what they wanted it to look like. Because the wall is like these blades. It looks satanic as fuck. Like all that's fucking subway station down by the World Trade Center. Everything they build now is like some kind of weird satanic ritual altar. The Oculus, Hudson Yards, this piece of shit, the wall. It all looks like demonic. It looks like H.R. Geiger designed it. Trump's wall, designed by H.R. Geiger. He designed the aliens for Gen Z cultural retards out there who don't know anything and voted for Trump. H.R. Geiger did the aliens. I think he was supposed to do Dune. He did it and he left or something. David Lynch's Dune, I think, is H.R. Geiger. So everything looks like David Lynch's Dune now. Frank Herbert, the fucking prophet of our shitty modern culture. The desertification of America. I don't know. Trump just wants to be like a sultan. He wants to be like a Middle Eastern royalty. I mean, when I worked in the restaurant, that was one of the customers we got was Saudi royalty. These people had so much money. It was always 15 people. It was like half the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life, and like half dudes in headdresses and shit that were just like the most unreactive. They'd spend thousands of dollars and they'd eat half their food. They didn't even care. Just take it. We don't even give a shit. Just go away. You're talking to me? Like, who do you think you are? I'd have your tongue cut out in my country. But here in America, anybody can just talk to anybody. It's insane. So that's what Trump wants to do. That's who he wants to be. That's who he thinks he is in his head. He thinks America is like his kingdom or whatever. The son of a bitch. So what the fuck are we supposed to do, everybody? What do we do? When all the yapping is over, whose side are you on? Will the left even be able to unite? The leftists hate us. The liberals are not really militarized. They're more like a part of mainstream society. They probably have jobs. The right wing, they're all like shooting each other. This guy who ran into this church was like some kind of in Michigan. It's like a Christian fucking, I don't know. Why do they always go to churches? Why do they always shoot up churches? Seems like probably the most sacrilegious place you could kill everybody. All right, what should I do? Okay, Ashley's coming back here, I guess. Ashley's coming back here, everybody. What the hell else do I need to talk about in the meantime? Let me get my other notebook real fast. Let me just check, see if there's any other. You know why I probably got so many fucking views on this? Because the title. The title, My Incel Life. Your average person probably saw that and thought, what the fuck is this? Normally my titles are less accessible. Oh, let's see here. No, not really. I don't have anything else. Let me look at my poetry real fast. Are they going to decapitate the military? Is that why they are gathering all the heads? Hegseth, our supreme commander, Pete Hegseth, the guy in control of our nuclear arsenal, Pete Hegseth of Fox News. Because I remember when Mark Maron was Secretary of Defense. I remember when Mark Maron was Secretary of State. So, it just seems like there isn't a comparable political apparatus on the left. What is the left equivalent of the manosphere? It doesn't exist. It's Adam Friedland, supposedly. Is it Sam Sater, Majority Report? Is it Jon Stewart? I guess Colbert, Jon Stewart. This is another instance of the left being sort of out of date, antiquated, not embracing the new. The leftists have kind of split off into their own kind of like niche. They're on TikTok. I mean, there's leftists on YouTube. I don't really see that stuff. My algorithm would rather show me Theo Vaughn, Louis C.K. than, a black woman talking about whatever. One battle after another, whatever it is. I'd rather see that stuff. I'd rather see leftist YouTube. If you're listening, if the algorithm is listening, I'd rather see leftist YouTube. What is it? Is it? I guess it's Democracy Now. There is no. I mean, Joe Rogan gets 15 million views. The Trump interview, I think, got 15 million views. Like, what is the cultural equivalent on the left? Is it one battle after another? It might be. Is it Mamdani? That shit's, sort of being suppressed in a way. If Larry Ellison wants to turn off the Mamdani spigot, he could probably do it, to be honest. If they wanted to shadow ban, the Free Palestine people on TikTok, they probably could do it. Joe Rogan is not going to fucking have any kind of like significant stance on it that is intelligent or informed. He'll buy whatever Trump says. Oh, they're going to have a ceasefire. I just saw Trump yesterday. We're about to have a ceasefire. We've finally done it. Netanyahu, we've all decided. We finally decided on a ceasefire. This is what he was saying yesterday. They've had ceasefires before. They didn't last. But as long as he keeps saying it, it looks like, oh, this guy's fighting for this. When in really, he might have no intention for that whatsoever. We don't know what the deal is going to be yet here on my incel life. What else? Let me look at my poems. Yeah, so I mean, is it podcast? Is it? I mean, Jon Stewart, I would say, is the close equivalent, but like how many views does like a Daily Show clip get? Is it South Park? I mean, South Park are not leftists, but those guys, you want to talk about influencers. Those guys are the fucking like gospel truth to most of like the young men in this country. Anybody like millennial and younger, South Park is like the fucking political like mouthpiece, basically. Whatever South Park has to say, it's like that is what most young guys probably think is the smartest take. It's always like apathetic. It's always like, oh, this is stupid. Oh, aren't all these people dumb? Yeah, fuck anybody who cares about anything. It all sucks. And now they're taking Trump to task. It's like, dude, it's way too fucking late. If they would have done this 10 fucking years ago, everybody's been ringing the alarm for 10 fucking years. You know, it's no surprise that they're actually doing this stuff. We didn't think it would happen. Maybe the first term was just like a head fake. Maybe the first term was just part of the hustle. Get him in office. He won't do anything. Then the second time we can come back and just like ambush everybody. People will be so stunned they won't know how to react. There'll be no meaningful opposition. They know they have to get it done before the midterms. Whatever they need to do it before the midterms. Because they will lose the midterms. So what if they're going to, like Bush? Bush started 9/11 before the midterms, right? 9/11 was like 9 months into his presidency. It was not that. It was about now, actually. So they had a runway into the midterms. They had a war. They got to get this Project 20, and they're on track to have the shit sewn up. So smoke them if you got them. I don't know. What are we going to do? What the fuck are we going to do, everybody? Be paranoid like Bob Flanagan? Retreat? I guess that's why, that's why those hippies retreated. That's why they went off the grid, was to not get arrested, to not be noticed. And I don't know. I mean, goddamn. So Jon Stewart's on the fucking Daily Show, and he's old. Adam Friedland, does he have, is that real? That feels very like inorganic to me. It feels like they're really trying to push this guy. And I like him. I don't necessarily see what all the fucking hubbub is about, but Come Town, those guys really got through somehow on the internet. Do people actually watch that and think it's funny? I don't know. Like, what was the other one? I don't think I listened to Come Town. I think I listened to the other one, maybe. I listened to Chavo Trap House. Whatever happened to those guys? How come Chapo Trap House isn't the Joe Rogan of the left? I just saw fucking the New Yorker did a profile of Joshua Citarella. First they did I'm obsessed with the New Yorker, obviously. They did fucking Subway takes. Now they did Josh Citarella. So if you get any kind of like sort of traction as a leftist podcast in New York with arty friends, you might get a New Yorker profile. I'm really hoping someday this is going to really break through. My guerrilla approach to half-baked political punditry. Hey, you just have to trust it, because a lot of times shit comes back that like you're like, why did I even say that? And then later you're like, fuck, I was right about that. It's a lot of times it's the most unpopular, unconvincing opinion that like later you'll find out, oh, that person was actually right. That's what's so frustrating about like life, is a lot of times it's just like the most confident person, the most bluster. Like Trump is all bluster, man. People just believe their eyes. They're not critically thinking. They don't really have good intuition. They're suckers. And so somebody like Hillary, they just think, oh, who's this bitch? Like, get this criminal bitch out of here. When it's like, well, wait a minute. She's actually probably would have been good at her job. She would have been a good president. She's a pretty smart lady. She went to fucking Oxford and shit. Like, probably be a good president. But there's a lot of fucking smear campaign to prevent that from happening, because they don't want. I heard somebody say Hillary's been fighting for black people since like the 70s. She's protested. She was an activist, and yet they're characterized like they're these flesh-eating, child-eating, like Illuminati. They're the Christmas adventurers, Bill and Hillary. Behind closed doors in their robes and their fucking torches, like they're the stone cutters. Their child sacrifice rituals. Hillary is like drinking the blood. It's like, you are fucking crazy, man. So I don't know. The left needs to get better fucking branding, better creatives, better. I mean, and I think the Democrats need to listen to like the socialist part of the party. I think they do, but they need to find a candidate that will make those people happy. It's that simple. Like, find a candidate that will make the Bernie people happy, whatever the fuck it is. Like, if it's fucking AOC, like, go with AOC. Definitely. If AOC can become the president, and I think she could, she has X factor. Like, she just did it. She wasn't like some fucking thing they forced on us. Like, AOC was a fucking bartender, and she leveraged her hotness and her marginalized, identity into like a culturally like potent role that just like was not even there. I mean, she's not a senator, she's a representative, so she has very little power, but she has a lot of profile. That, like JD Vance, the reason he's a player is because they made that fucking movie. If JD Vance hadn't had Hillbilly Elegy in that fucking movie, Trump wouldn't even have thought twice about this guy. But he's sort of a celebrity on his own. It's like the Democrats need somebody like that. If it's Mamdani, they have people within the party that sort of catch fire. And I guess they do it because they're socialists, and that, that plays well on social media, right? Which is a populist medium. It allows marginalized poor people to be like, yo, we want fucking health insurance. Yo, we want higher minimum wage. We want rent freeze. We want respect. We see the way it was before Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon and George W. Bush 1 and 2 and Donald Trump 1 and 2. Hey, remember there was fucking healthcare and welfare and work progress administration and New Deal and America. There was a reason why it was number one in everything, because this is the wealthiest nation that's ever existed. They taxed the wealthy at a 90% tax rate, and they reinvested it in public structure, public health, public education, whatever the fuck it is, public parks, art. music, cheap apartments for people. But now it's just like, well, wait a minute. We need less government. That means less taxes. Let's elect a Republican who the first thing they're going to go in is cut rich people's taxes, hoover money up from the poor people to the rich who don't need it, so they can hoard more wealth, so they can have more power, so they can have more control over our lives. So you have less. You have less. It's not just that they're getting more. It's like you have less. There's only so much. They have more of it, which means that you have less. You have less power. You have less control. You have less say over where you live, over how you spend your time, over whether or not you can have kids, what you can buy, what you can drive, whatever the fuck it is, what you're able to do as a, can you travel? You all have less of that because of these fucking tax cuts that are totally unnecessary. And like the opposite of what made America great, which was socialism. They are in the Republican handbook, they're vilifying Obama like he's going to commit class warfare for raising taxes on wealthy people, which that's Obama. He wasn't even fucking Bernie Sanders. He wasn't even like, hey, let's increase it to 9. I don't know what Obama wanted to increase it to, but I'm sure it wasn't Bernie Sanders shit. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe Obama ran on the campaign promises of Bernie Sanders. Free health care, higher minimum. Who knows? I don't know. And then he didn't do it. And that's why people are pissed off. But just taking a little break here for a second. I'm going to get off pretty soon, everybody. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Wow, this has been probably by far my most successful stream ever. So thank you. And we need streaming now more than ever, clearly. The country is desperate. I'm not here necessarily. It is about facts, but it's more about like intuition. It is about like making predictions, trying to figure out like the psychogeography of our society, of our government, of our culture. Like what's the subconscious? What are the undercurrents? What's the mystical, spell that what's really happening here? How do we influence it? I think this movie is not particularly nuanced, and that's why it's popular. It's going to appeal to the people that buy it's going to appeal to Bernie bros big time. I think One Battle After Another is like the ultimate Bernie bro movie, actually. Made by Bernie bros for Bernie bros. And that's not a bad thing. That's good. But, like Sorry to Bother You. It's like the movie, I liked it, but it felt a little bit, I don't know. It felt a little bit, like The Fever. I think The Fever is an example of like something that's a communist piece of art. That's like a little more convincing, a little more nuanced. The Wallace Shawn player, The Fever, which is all about a character who kind of comes to class consciousness when, in privilege, awareness of their privilege as an American citizen, first world citizen, when somebody drops a copy of Karl Marx at their door, mysteriously one night. And they read it and they become sort of radicalized. I think, that is like a serious, like informed piece of like socialist art that I feel like is like convincing. It's persuasive. It probably the same, but it's like, it's just a little too broad. It's a little too black and white or something. Literally. The movie makes a lot of sort of puns or like, draws that polarity between black and white a lot, which makes sense. But America, the racial makeup is way more complicated. There's a lot of identities. There's a lot of cultures that used to be looked on as like a point of pride in this country, was that it was so diverse and welcoming. And it was a strength. The movie, like, there's really no black male characters. It's all like these black women with like, killer bodies, little hard bodies. And I think, there's Hispanic characters, but it's really about the white men. I mean, let's get real. It's about Sean Penn and Leo, okay? And so in that sense, I don't know. It was woke, but it wasn't as woke as fucking like a lot of the Hollywood stuff from, it wasn't as woke as Moonlight or something. Or, fucking Everything Everywhere All Over, or any of those movies. Everything for fucking Hollywood the last 10 years was like, let's be as woke as possible. Let's throw all our weight this way. And that's good, but you can feel it starting to loosen up a little bit. It's still woke, but it's like we can have Leo and fucking, the other white people. They can be the leads. So I don't know. It was good for them. Good for them. I'm glad they made it. I'm glad it's energizing people. It's a catalyst societally. What else do I need to talk about? There's definitely a million other things we could talk about to everybody. I got one person watching. I'm just dragging this out to the fucking bitter end. Never give up. That's what I watched. There was this Trump video the other day that popped up in my timeline. I forget what it was. Somebody asking Trump for advice or some shit. He's like, never give up. Never give up. And I'm like, you know what? Coming from Trump, it kind of like, I mean, the dude is like living proof of that, because like how many fucking times did the guy go bankrupt? How many times was he like culturally relevant and then sort of came back? And how many times did they try to cancel his ass? That's all people did. The first time he ran was just like every left thing was just like trying to be like, you can't do this. You can't do this. You're racist. And it just didn't, the pussy tape. None of it worked. You thought, there were so many times where you thought this guy is done. No one does this. He cannot say this. He's done. We're canceling him. Don't pay any attention to him. Look the other way. There's no way this guy will get elected. Will never happen. Just like, fuck him. Fuck this guy. Like, no. And he won. And then he lost. And then he won again. And it's like, and now he's a dictator. And the fucker doubled down every fucking time. And we do live in, he took advantage of Reaganomics, I think, to the hilt. The guy rode the wave of tax abatements, not paying his workers, deregulation, tax cuts, government money, subsidies, all of it. Trump, that's how he made money. Casino, loophole shit, money laundering through casinos. I'm sure every single way he makes money is illegal. Or like taking advantage of the taxpayers and the government. He's probably robbed. He probably doesn't look at it as stealing. He probably likes, well, the government shouldn't have it. I should have it. They stole it from other people, so I'm just taking it back. I'm better at capital allocation. That's what Elon Musk said. He's better at capital allocation than the government, than Elizabeth Warren. I'd rather have Elon Musk in charge of my money than Elizabeth Warren. It's kind of weird and scary to think that Elon Musk is like, he's approaching being worth like the United States budget. That's kind of insane. Like, let's say theoretically Elon Musk will be worth $1 trillion. I hope it never happens. It's kind of unbelievable considering how much anti-billionaire sentiment there is, how much class warfare there is against the billionaires. And yet there is also discourse about how Elon Musk is going to be the first trillionaire, which just shows you how much our money is worth or going to be worth. It's just inflation. But the budget of the United States is not even, it's what, like 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion? Like, that's one guy having as much as the richest country in the fucking world. Like, that's lopsided. That's way fucking out of balance. And so, what the hell do we do, people? What in God's name? Get Bernie in there. Too bad the Democrats and Hillary fucked Bernie over. I mean, that's all I see in the comment section. They use Bernie as like the reason why they won't vote for the Democrats. It's like, well, you fucked Bernie over, so fuck you. We're not voting. We love Bernie. He's like this fucking teddy bear. It's Bernie. He's going to get us health care. He's so cute and old. He's this old Jewish man. He's so cute and smart. Oh, I love Bernie. Bernie. Oh, I love Bernie. He will save us. Good for Bernie. It's good that Bernie exists. It's good, but there's one Bernie, okay? Look at the way people talk about AOC or the Squad or Mamdani. It's like there's plenty of people who hate these people. It's not just like, I guess it's because they're not white. Bernie's white. I don't think that if Bernie would have gotten the nomination, the people that voted for Trump would have voted for Bernie. They would have found a way to smear Bernie. God knows what they would have said about him. Or they just would have, who knows what they would have done. But baby steps. It's like, it's not a reason to not vote for the fucking best choice. You at a certain point, like in life, like life is not fair. I mean, it sucks that the Democrats are responsible, or that's the narrative, but like there's plenty of situations in life where it's like you're given two choices. These are your choices. They're the best that you have. Pick. That's what our fucking politics are. Okay? It's not like going to McDonald's or a restaurant or you can't have whatever you want. I know with the internet, people think they can order anything they want. Well, I wanted the free Palestine meal. I wanted the fucking, free bus ride, trans surgery for children meal. I want the sex change operation for my child socialism package. I wanted the number 7, the deluxe fully automated luxury communism. It's like, no, you're given these. This is not a bad country in a lot of ways. It could be better, but if you look objectively at the reasons why it sucks, it's because the Republicans have sucked all of the fucking money out of the budget into war and tax cuts. That's why our country sucks. That's why people are stupid. They want people to be stupid. Like Trump says, smart people don't like him. They all like Mamdani and Bernie. Or Kamala, or Hillary, or Obama. And like life, it's like you have to make the best choice for whatever it is, whatever the situation is. You might not like it. I get it. We should put pressure on these people. I think they are. And I think when Pelosi and all these people die or get primaried, like, yeah, primary them. David Hogg, fucking primary him. AOC, primary him. Sure. If that's what you think, go for it. That's democracy. Bernie should have run. Why did he? He's not even a fucking Democrat. He's an independent. He's not a Democrat. He caucuses with the Democrats. He's not a Democrat. He could have run anyway, like Jill Stein. Fucking run. If he can win, run, motherfucker. If you can win votes from Trump, if all these people who are going to vote for Trump are going to vote for you, then fucking run, bitch. The Democrats lost 2 out of 3 times. And Kamala didn't even have anything to do with Bernie. It was just like this retroactive thing. Well, they fucked over Bernie in 2020 and 2016, and she's just sort of like being rammed down our throats in a way without a primary. So this is corrupt. This has corruption all over it. This has Nancy Pelosi, like DNC, APAC, whatever the fucking, take the ball and run with it. There's no nuance. It's just like Democrats are beholden to corporate money. They're the same as Republicans. They're controlled opposition. Whatever happened. Oh, the genocide happened under Biden. So you can't argue that it would be better under Biden because they didn't stop it. Like literally, how could it be better? They killed everybody. It's like, well, that's why they did it then. Netanyahu knew it was fuck or walk. He knew it was his last chance, and he knew the Democrats would own it. And it's not popular at all. But people don't want to do that. They don't want to. So this is what I'm really trying to get at. That's why it's so hard to talk about this, because it's they want apathy. You know, they want people to stay home. They want people to go, well, fuck Kamala, fuck Hillary. They're corrupt. They drop bombs on children. They, you know, Hezbollah, whatever the fuck it is. I'm not going to vote, or I'm going to vote for Jill Stein, or I'll stay home, or I'll vote for Trump. Just to say fuck you to Hillary. You know, Joe Rogan endorsed Trump. It wasn't like, you know, I'm not going to endorse anybody. I'm going to sit this one out. He was like, he endorsed Trump. He thought Trump was going to stop the wars, bring prices down, whatever the fuck Trump bullshitted about during the campaign. He endorsed him, like all those guys did. Where's the sexy left-wing podcasters out there? Where's the sexy left-wing artists with like huge, is Timothy Chalamet? I didn't see Taylor Swift say anything about it. Taylor Swift didn't endorse Kamala. You know, and Taylor Swift is legacy media anyway. I mean, part of it is because there's right-wing money and control over these medium, over YouTube, over Instagram, over Twitter. I mean, YouTube, this is something I have always talked about. I've been talking about this for fucking years, how like YouTube skews right. There is a right-wing pipeline on YouTube. I know because I fucking see it. Bill Maher's part of that. Bill Maher's not like a leftist. He hates the leftists. He's like MAGA at this point. He's sympathetic to a lot of things they do. He definitely doesn't take them to task. His guest list is atrocious. Bill Maher constantly beats up on trans people. He's never had a trans guest, I don't think. Or if he has, it's like there's certainly not equal representation. It's all white guys. It's all bimbos. He could have a lot more diversity. And Club Random is the same fucking thing. It's like if you're going to beat up on these people, like, get some fucking diversity, man. Maybe they won't go on his show. I suppose that's possible, but you know, Peterson, all these clowns, they're all like this weird clandestine, they're ops. You know, frankly, they're fucking ops. Whatever the CIA used to do, Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn are doing now. They're brainwashing people. They're propagandizing in a way that people don't understand is propaganda. That's why it works. because people don't go, wait a minute. This is fucking Hillary trying to like ram something down our throats we don't want. This is Alec Baldwin as Trump on Saturday Night Live. They're all liberals. They're all fucking liberals on that show. It's incredibly liberal bias, like everything on TV, like Colbert, like Kimmel, like Fallon. They all need to go. Gutfield's funny. He's the ratings leader in late night. Gutfield. He's number one in late night. The heir to Johnny Carson, Gutfield. Late night has come back, everybody. It's no longer dead. We got Gutfield. So, yeah, these are just the typical preoccupations. Late night, podcasting, manosphere. The election that we'll never get back. It's too late now. What do we do? How do we organize? How do we fight back? Just keep sending out the flares. One battle after another felt like a flare. It felt like it was sent up. It was a call to arms. Or a rallying cry, as they said. For whatever that's worth. I think most people are happy to fight the info war just sitting on their ass at home, clicking and watching podcasts while they play online video games. And they're radicalized through these spaces. So what the fuck? We need Adult Swim back. Adult Swim was sort of like a cool, edgy. I do think a large part of it is the left did not do themselves any favors, and they pushed a lot of these guys into the right wing's arms because the entire left for the last decade, their platform has basically, they use white men as the scapegoat and the enemy. The white men are excluded. There was a lot of cultural beating up on white men. Okay, that's Ashley. I got to get off, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll leave it on that note. Real quick, man. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Stay woke, everybody. Have a good night. Come to open mic tomorrow.